Okay, guys, terribly sorry. I had a problem with the internet there, but I believe I'm good now. Yep, I believe I'm good now. What's human?
Like little test runs.
And so they actually had him do a 13-week stint as the host.
I'm glad to hear you're here on a wonderful night. Of course, every night's wonderful when you're with me. Thank you very much.
Because it was his boyhood dream, he was the one who, wow, what a great opportunity. This is my shot.
And he kills it.
If I can say one word, it's flavor. He brought a certain swag to the late night scene.
Well, I reset every router.
That's where I first saw Arsenio before I ever met him. I remember him doing an interview with Elliot Gould, who was a notorious stiff as an interview. Arsenio was shooting hoops and talking. I remember seeing that and going, God, that's clever. He actually got that stiff to talk. I'm Bill Royce, and in the 90s, I was one of the producers of two of the most talked about late night talk shows there were. First, the Arsenio Hall show, and then the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And Arsenio was much more fun.
He delivered. He was the right man for the job. My name is Christopher Reed. I'm known as Kid from the group Kid and Play.
Kid and Play.
In the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, in the 90s.
I was like, I haven't seen him in so long.
We were rapping. We were singing.
Doing all of it.
For the time to be alive.
I joke about it a lot on the show, you know, being a Dickerson Ranger.
I heard you joke about it. I heard you joke about it.
Very relaxed, maybe because he's just subbing, maybe because it's not his show, maybe because it doesn't have his name on it, maybe because he doesn't feel like he has a lot to lose.
It's a local situation, so for those of you who don't know, Eric, Eric is heavily involved in a program called Just Say No.
He's having conversations that nobody else on late night is having. And it's really relaxed and it's very informal, but it's also informative and interesting.
Something that you don't do, along with drugs, you don't spike the ball. You don't like throw it in people's face and on the ground. And I ain't never seen you do the Philly dog after you throw it.
Johnny Carson and NBC are still preventing A-list talent from appearing on other shows. But Arsenio flips the script by inviting young and upcoming talent instead.
You have a very positive image, and I hear you live with your grandmother. Is that the reason?
I live with my grandmother in St. Albans, Queens, and I'm still the same person.
Yup, still the same person. Still chilling.
Fox, they
Hello,
realized
Cool
how
J.
much the
Don't
crowd
call it a
engaged with
comeback,
him,
because I've
how
been
much he
here for
brought a new
years.
flavor and a new energy to late night, and an entirely new audience. 25% of their viewers were African American, so they have to cater to that.
Mama said knock you out. Mama said knock you out.
Fox executives offer him a midnight talk show of his
I'm
own.
gonna knock you out.
But Hall passes. Instead,
Mama
he
said
signs
knock
on to
you
play
out.
multiple characters in his close friend Eddie Murphy's new movie, Coming to America.
Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived.
Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Lewis?
Joe
Nobody
Lewis.
in here ever heard of Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay.
We got a point.
He's got a point. Cassius Clay was a bad motherfucker.
After Hall's big screen
Yup.
success, Fox approaches him again, this time offering more money and a better time slot. But Arsenio wants even more. Not just a paycheck to host a show, but a piece of the action and a seat at the table. Fox turns him down. It's a decision they will soon regret. Dark Side of the 90s is back for more. More exclusive eyewitness confessions.
Working on SNL is survival of the fittest.
More conflicts.
Andre showed up with Levi jeans on. I think they got a bit fed up.
More over-the-top behavior.
They were lighting cars on fire to sell car wax at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Join me, Mark McGrath, as we travel back to the dark side of the 90s.
Tuesdays at 10 on Vice.
Extra-dimensional cat.
Throughout the 80s and into the 90s, late-night TV remains hugely profitable, while also being mostly cut off from the most profound changes happening in American culture.
It's time to get real, you know, grow up, you know.
Black people, we didn't watch late night. I mean, we did because it was on, but it wasn't for us.
Hey, Upward.
I'm Naima Cochran. I'm a music and culture journalist, and in the 90s, I was consuming all the music and all the television and all the movies, which is why now I can talk about them. You have this generation of kids where all we do is watch videos all day long. That's it. The rise of hip hop, the rise of Generation X, and the rise of MTV. We want to see these acts. We want to see what they look like. We want to see who they are.
Only one spot is showing performances by young hip
get
talent.
out of sight.
To an hour of new videos
There's a wish
right
machine
here on MTV.
That is until Arsenio, who grew up wanting to be Johnny Carson, gets an offer he can't refuse. A chance to host and executive produce his own talk show.
Arsenio had a plan, and part of that plan was to put himself into syndication and to give himself that EP power so he has control over the show's direction.
Paramount Television also has a plan to grab some late-night cash by getting Arsenio to host a syndicated talk show. Unlike network programs, syndicated shows are sold to individual stations across the country. Paramount even offers Arsenio the same level of creative control that Carson was able to acquire at the end of his career.
TV? Yeah. Johnny Carson paved the way on what power looks like on late-night TV.
By the time he retires in 1992, Carson controls every aspect of his program, from who gets hired to his on-camera image.
He chose the interviewees, and if he wasn't okay with someone that they were suggested, they wouldn't be on the show. Arsenio Hall was to have a similar control.
Along with creative control, Arsenio will share in the show's profits, just like Oprah Winfrey does on her show.
When I went to Paramount, they said, "So, what are you thinking about?" And I said, "I want an Oprah deal."
For him to have a syndicated talk
It's a good
show
deal.
in his early 30s, as a black man, the only black man on late night television, massive. It was massive.
On January 3rd, 1989, the Arsenio Hall Show debuts.
And now, let the party begin. It's Arsenio!
The second Burton Richardson bellowed out Arsenio Hall, boom. Arsenio hit the floor, the place went nuts, all different types of people in the audience. You saw them high-fiving and hugging and having a good time.
From that first show, Arsenio is determined to revitalize late night. He knows the formula works, it just needs a facelift.
I created a show for kids because kids didn't have a show. I'm going after the children of Johnny's audience.
From Television City in Hollywood.
It's a crowded battlefield as the very next week, CBS launches its own bid for those late-night talk show ad dollars, starring the hugely popular host of Wheel of Fortune.
No, the big money was on Pat Sajak. Pat is a lovely guy, had a lovely show, but it was a pale imitation of Johnny.
If it looks like I'm just killing time, I have a reason here. In less than 1 minute, we will officially become CBS's longest-running show this season.
Well, we weren't a pale imitation of Johnny by any stretch.
Arsenio, he said it a million times, I just want to show people a good time. You're 16 years old and you're seeing Bobby Brown videos when he broke away from New Edition, and then the first Friday night, Bobby Brown is performing My Prerogative, and the camera's up in his face, and the music of the show was the music of the time.
It's my prerogative. I remember this. I was like, wait, I don't remember the song that well.
That was introducing people to a new culture, a younger culture, a culture that's starting to become the hip-hop culture, and a generation of people who are more accepting than the generation that came before him.
I mean, look at that first week of Arsenio. That tells you everything. There was Bobby Brown, Luther Vandross, Brooke Shields, Quincy Jones, Judd Nelson was in there, Robert Downey Jr. was in there. Look at the mix there. Younger than what you were getting at Carson with Buddy Hackett, Phyllis Diller, Engelbert Humperdinck. I can go on and on.
With the financial stakes sky high, NBC
Damn,
hopes
there's
to
no
bury
vendor here and
Arsenio
it's
by
stupid.
doing unto him how they did to Joan Rivers.
I don't know if I best
I
just
know
turn
for a
in,
fact,
I guess, so I can
if you
teleport.
did Arsenio first, you either couldn't do Carson,
a deviation.
or you couldn't do Carson for a while.
So some of the
They
individuals
never
that
returned, but now
Arsenio
that
Hall
you're
brought
here,
onto
they
his show
chase
was out
down
of
past leads,
necessity.
make sure
He
you're
had to figure
well.
out how can he make himself different.
From their first full-length album, Mecca and the Soul Brother.
From their CD, The Low End Theory,
Please welcome Boogie Down Production.
Arsenio gives a national audience a first look at undiscovered talent not previously welcome on network TV. MC Hammer performed You Can't Touch This for the first time on Arsenio's Stage 29. It made him a cultural phenomenon.
MC Hammer, motherfucker.
When Hammer is up there jamming with 40 people with him, that's a thing.
Can I get a hit?
It's win-win. Arsenio can book hot new talent
Never
shunned
gonna
by his
get it, never
competitors,
gonna get it.
and hip-hop
Never
gets
gonna get it,
national
never gonna
television
get it.
exposure.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
We would go down to stage
Never get
29,
it.
and
Yeah.
we wasn't
Whoa,
even
whoa,
on the show
whoa,
that
whoa.
day. You just want to be there.
See, I was not
We have a
90s, I was
slam
aughts.
green room. We got hot catered
I mean,
food.
I knew
We
all
got
the
a
90s
bar.
music.
Not only for the stars to come, it was fun for the publicists, it was fun for the managers, the agents, the families, their dogs, everybody.
It's daytime, but when you come inside the studio, it feels like a nighttime. The audience is off the chain. His band was braktum, braktum, braktum. It was the place to be, and it felt like it.
It quickly becomes clear that if you're a young black artist, appearing on Arsenio can be a professional game changer.
You know, anything you're promoting on Arsenio, oh, you got that bounce.
It wasn't Arsenio's ratings that created the sensation in the beginning. It was the demographics that the advertisers liked because they wanted young people.
We shot out like a cannon. So some of our original local spots were Jimmy Dean Sausage. Within short time, it was Mercedes-Benz.
The momentum just started growing and growing and growing. Within about 6 months of the show debuting, Arsenio got the cover of Time magazine.
Starting Monday night, Arsenio moves from his 12:30 time slot to 11:30 in the New York area. Now, in TV
Yeah.
land, this is a major
Moving
move,
up.
signifying that
Moving
Hall is a
on
rating
up.
success.
I realized that we'd become a hit on a certain important level when,
Yep.
believe it or not,
Cultural.
Farrah Fawcett did the show.
What was it that attracted you to doing this role?
So cute. Okay, I'll be serious. What attracted me to this role was...
Everybody called me cute.
Farrah Fawcett called me
Fawcett
cute.
in the early 90s was a major important star. Well, the fact that she did it and it came off well, that was a major turning point. Then the movie stars, like shooting fish in a barrel.
Arsenio starts booking A-listers, while over at CBS, Pat Sajak can't buy a vowel. His talk show is canceled before the end of its first season. CBS stations across the country are now able to make a deal with Paramount to air Arsenio in Sajak's time slot.
Chuck, give me a beat. You all know what time it is now, right?
His band was the
This
Posse.
sucks.
You know who those people over there are in the dog pound?
The audience was
Dog
the
Pound.
Dog Pound.
People we usually give names to. That's all.
They bark and pump their fists. You know, woof, woof, woof,
Woof, woof, woof.
Woof, woof, woof.
The twirling of the wrist.
Yeah, you at home in your underwear. Woo, 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 woo. That's the one that gets it popping.
These aren't jokes, these are thoughts. These are things that make you say,
He had a segment called Things to Make You Go, That became a song by CNC Music Factory. That was a hit. Whereas other people would be like, we have a great lineup for you tonight. He was like, let's get busy. It was a party.
My name is Arsenio Hall, and my philosophy is do it till you're satisfied.
You know, TV critics and people who are watching brands set the networks look and say, it's not gonna work. It's too much. It's too extra. It's too over the top. It's too black. But it worked.
Bullshit.
It worked like gangbusters.
In a first for show business, Arsenio didn't just book black performers to put on a show. He also brought them on to talk business.
I looked at the numbers.
Okay.
The movie, you know me. I'm on a Hey, you opened on a Wednesday. You opened in less theaters than House Party 2, and you did better
House Party
numbers.
2.
And this is a real.
And he really wanted to show them too. He was like,
surprised when he brought that up. But looking back, I'm just like, I get what you're doing. He's
Yeah.
saying, hey man, y'all doing numbers.
y'all doing numbers.
Black movies make money.
From my first
As they
meeting
should.
with him,
As any
Arsenio
other movie should,
talked about
you know?
inclusivity. That was important to him. But shortly after the show became a success, she started hearing from the black community. The show isn't black enough. Doesn't hire enough black people. The show did have a number of black people on the staff, for sure. But in the key position of producer, showrunner, no, that was a white woman. The writers were a mix, black and white. The talent department, we had at least one black woman there. I know there were other people, you know, spread throughout the show who were.
Former
That was
president
all
of the
racist.
Los Angeles chapter of the NAACP, Willis Edwards, and film director Spike Lee publicly take a swing at Arsenio as an Uncle Tom. In the media, he punches back, but the attacks sting and will soon redirect the career trajectory of the young late-night star.
Zajac ain't with me. Look at me.
Dark Side of the 90s is back for more.
People just letting their freak flag fly.
More exclusive eyewitness confessions.
Working on SNL really is survival of the fittest. Okay, I'm gonna make it out. Oh.
I was there. It was unbelievable. I'm Steven Sergio, and I extorted Scores Gentlemen's Club.
More conflicts.
He was very disrespectful. It was all about David Caruso.
I think they got a bit fed up with hearing how much they owed to Simon Fuley.
More over-the-top behavior.
From my understanding, he was using heroin.
They were lighting cars on fire to sell car wax at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Andre showed up to a tennis tournament with Levi jeans on.
And more struggles with fame and fortune.
I don't think anybody saw it coming.
Join me, Mark McGrath, as we travel back to the
Mark
90s.
McGrath.
Dark Side of the 90s.
Tuesdays at 10 on Vice.
The world may be less threatening, but it is also, I believe at the moment, less stable, and there's a great deal of uncertainty in the world.
The early 90s saw many firsts for black Americans. Colin Powell is named chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff. Art Shell becomes the first black coach of an NFL team. And Frederick Drew Gregory is the first black person to command the space shuttle. But
They
in
were
Hollywood,
all on
being
Arsenio, I
first at
bet.
being black has always been a tricky part to play.
You come out and you do your thing, and you'll deal with the problems of today. You do it with humor. I tried to do it with entertaining, to try to get some doors open, because all of them were closed in those days. All of them were closed.
You could still smoke a cigarette back
And
then.
despite claiming to want his show to be inclusive, Arsenio
love
is attacked
cigarettes.
for not doing enough.
If they didn't kill you, I would keep doing them.
When the criticism arose that the show wasn't black enough, I know Arsenio was hurt by that to a degree.
Perhaps in response to the complaints, Arsenio sets up an internship program for young people of color. One of his first interns is a headstrong USC film student named John Singleton.
He may have been asked at one point to Xerox some stuff. And he went, no, that's not what I do. It became a famous story right then within the show. And then when he did Boys in the Hood, it became an even more famous story. Good for him, and God bless him.
It's on Arsenio's Stage 29 that Singleton meets Ice Cube, who he will one day cast as the up-and-coming rapper in his groundbreaking debut film, Boys in the Hood.
This was such a good fucking movie.
But Arsenio has ambitions that exceed facilitating careers in Hollywood. He wants to make a difference in the greater black communities of LA, which in the late 80s and 90s were confronting a deadly gang war between the Crips and the Bloods. Arsenio brings on the West Coast All-Stars, a collective of California rappers who are united in an effort to end gang violence in the City of Angels.
Mike Concepcion was a former gang member who conceived the idea of a weekend of peace. And Arsenio was a huge supporter of this entire effort. What was great about Arsenio is that you might see a side of these artists that you would not have seen somewhere else.
Including rapper Tone Loc, who had a hit with the song Funky Cold Medina.
Which is a song that would not be okay in 2021, by the way, but it was a smash hit at the time.
Tone, you're from LA. Can this weekend expand to something larger?
It's like baking a cake here, you know, this is like one ingredient.
I had never been on a talk show before. My favorite show is, of course, when we came out and did the All in the Same Gang video. My name is Tone Loc, or Tony Smith, or Tone, or Loc. Depends on how you know me or where you know me from, you know what I'm saying?
Well, again, Tone Loc talking from a place of his community and who he is, not just performing a hit song.
For Arsenio, it's not just about leveraging black culture to grow his audience. He understands the unique messages being communicated by black music groups the other shows refuse to book.
A lot of people would give NWA a chance to come on TV and say or express any of their songs, you know what I mean?
We can use the initial of the first word.
F.
F the police.
Yeah. Once in everybody's lifetime, you know, they get harassed by the police for no reason, and everybody wants to say it, you know, but they can't say it on the spot. Something happened to them, you know, and then you get harassed by the police just because what you wear.
In the fall of 1990, NWA is fighting the FBI over what they can and cannot say in their music. Arsenio hires actors to play officers trying to shut down the performance.
In the late 80s and the early 90s, the police violence in LA was ridiculous. And it was something that was very common knowledge. If you were a person of color,
once again,
maybe not so much
as you may have guessed.
So to have them seated and talking eloquently, coherently, thoughtfully, about their music, about their position, about their experience, I think that was groundbreaking at the time.
You're not saying that all police are bad.
Nah, not all police. 90% or more.
Arsenio's commitment and authenticity gets noticed by the black community in Hollywood. Suddenly, he's booking guests that no one else can get.
Arsenio loved Prince. He said to Sharon Olsen, the music booker, "Get me Prince on the show. I want Prince." So she tried and tried. So finally, he'll do the show. The only thing is he won't talk. Let's take it to Arsenio. He says, "That's okay.
That's fine.
We'll talk to people who've worked with Prince, and they'll talk about him."
Prince, if I'm lying, come out here and slap me, because I don't remember everything. I think he said, just, well, you want to lay one down? And we went out there, and I started singing, and he said, "Gosh." And he was happy about what he was hearing, so he called George Clinton in.
Yeah.
George was in the other room. George.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Come on, baby. Let's get it now.
Again, how smart Arsenio was.
Smart enough to weather efforts by his competitors to keep big-name celebrities off his show and become the exclusive destination for A-listers with something difficult to talk about.
Arsenio called me into his office and said, "Bill, Magic Johnson's going to announce that he has HIV. What do I do?" I said, "You get in the car and you go to your friend. The show. If you don't tape today, you don't tape today." In those days, having HIV was like a death sentence.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained,
It's still a death
I will
sentence.
have to retire from the Lakers.
Watching him play in the NBA, especially the Lakers, especially in Los Angeles, he is a
hero to everyone. Humanizes him being on this show because to a lot of folks, it's something that you don't talk about.
I'm here, say, hey, I got it, but I'm gonna live on. And you don't have to run from me like, oh, here come magic, uh-oh. You don't have to do all that. You know, just you to be you.
Magic Johnson's appearance on Arsenio is a 90s cultural milestone and helped set the stage for possibly the most iconic moment in late-night TV history.
So many people in the presidential race. Who's Bill Clinton?
Before this episode, Bill Clinton was probably third in the running. After this episode, he shot up completely.
Him being comfortable enough to put on the sunglasses, getting one of Arsenio's ties, putting it on, and playing the sax.
That was unheard of. We're coming out of the Reagan era.
I forgot about this.
He was reaching out to the MTV generation heavy, and I think it really made a difference.
You know, Bill Clinton's like, hey, Arsenio, all right. Go get these black voters.
What do we do about the gangs, and what do we do about the violence in our inner cities, the black-on-black crime?
Long-running joke was Bill Clinton was like the first black president. Everyone would always kind of make that joke around that. And it's because he was the one that talked directly to black culture in a way that you hadn't seen any other president do.
Why would you vote for Clinton?
Well, it seemed like he got more going than the rest of them.
There's no question that this ticket is going to get the overwhelming majority of the black vote.
Politics, film, music, Arsenio is the kingmaker with the golden touch, perhaps due to one famously long finger.
He'd go over and take that very long E.T. type finger and tap Michael Wolff.
Keenan Ivory Wayans on In Living Color would do a parody of it.
You ruined my career. Strive to be the best you can be.
You try to be the best you can be.
Take us home with some of that nasty booger nose funk.
And you know, sometimes guests would want to do it because it was his thing. Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Johnny Carson might disagree after seeing the Saturday Night Live Johnny Arsenio mashup.
The SNL clip Carsenio still is a very important clip in popular culture. SNL is making that clear through comedy that Carson is in kind of an old way.
You just do this, you go whoop, whoop, whoop. And they go crazy. It's just wild, weird stuff.
You are correct, sir, yes.
The sketch's suggestion that Carson is a has-been is particularly insulting to Johnny coming from a show on NBC, his same network.
Welcome, Osage.
And it reveals an uncomfortable reality.
Are you finished?
4 days after the sketch airs, Carson announces he's the one finished with The Tonight Show. The news will spark one of the most contentious battles in the history of broadcast television. Dark Side of the 90s is back for more. More exclusive eyewitness confessions.
Working on SNL is survival of the fittest.
More conflicts.
Andre showed up with Levi jeans on.
I think they got a bit fed up.
More over-the-top behavior.
They were lighting cars on fire to sell car wax at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Join me, Mark McGrath, as we travel back to the dark side of the 90s.
Tuesdays at 10 on Vice.
In the spring of 1991, the Arsenio Hall show was on the rise when the news of Carson's retirement shifts
Sorry guys for
attention,
the internet
then
going
sparks
down.
controversy over who will take over The Tonight Show.
You can't talk about, you know, the 90s and late night talk without talking about the late night wars.
I hated talk shows.
The battle centers on who will
Like
replace
I watched Arsenio when I was a kid before I knew better. But by the time I was like 9 years old, I was totally full-blown done with talk shows. I thought they were so goddamn boring-ass dog fucking boring. You know? I still do. I think they're so boring. Two people sitting there fucking talking to each other and like occasionally the content's good. But like overall, it's just people fucking voguing. And it's fine, but it's not my taste in media.
On NBC, David Letterman, or Johnny's
now,
regular
music
stand-in
videos I
host,
love.
Jay Leno.
Meanwhile, we're just toiling away. Publicists were like, you know what? Nobody knows what's going on over there. Do Arsenio, do Arsenio, do Arsenio. He's getting numbers, it's fun, he's attracting a different demo, who knows what's gonna happen over here.
What's happening is an increasingly contentious battle for The Tonight Show.
You gonna be staying out here long, or
I'm leaving tonight. I gotta drop the audition tape off over at CBS, and then I'm going.
Throughout the 1980s, Letterman's late night show directly follows Carson on NBC.
And it was assumed that when Johnny stepped down, that Letterman would have that spot.
Nope.
And then
We've been watching that a lot lately.
Late night changed.
And now, Jay
May 25th, 1992 marks the beginning of Jay Leno's run as host of The Tonight Show.
We still don't know where the candidates stand on the issues. I mean, all we know for sure is that Ross Perot hasn't said anything, Bush hasn't done anything, and Clinton hasn't inhaled anything. That's all.
Like much of Hollywood, Arsenio is unhappy with the decision. He doesn't think Leno has earned the job and speaks out publicly.
Arsenio gave an interview, and on the cover, it says, "I'm going to whip Jay Leno's ass." A mistake. You know, they had been friends. They had come up the same way at the same time. And I think he felt that Jay was perhaps poaching on his territory.
While Arsenio focuses on battling Leno, David Letterman makes a move that will prove to be a devastating blow to Arsenio's future in late night.
Listen to this. Earlier today, for the first time, NBC named me Employee of the Month.
Dave Letterman, in his great angst and anger that he was passed over for the job, goes to CBS.
They wanted a hit show at 11:30,
Dave,
and they
weren't
got
gonna
one
do
with
it.
Letterman.
The move to CBS means more money for Letterman and less television stations for Arsenio.
With Arsenio being syndicated, some of the people who were picking him up and putting him against The Tonight Show were CBS affiliates. When there's a choice between Letterman, who is a very well-established brand, and Arsenio, they chose Letterman.
Not wanting to be left behind, Fox decides to produce its own late-night program.
Chevy Chase is getting his act together at the new Chevy Chase Theater. Chevy's the man!
To make room for
Chevy's the
Chevy,
man.
Arsenio's syndicated show is pushed to late night.
Now you have these competing late night shows
Forgot that the
who are
Chevy
all
Chase
vying
show
not for the
existed.
same audience, but for the same talent.
By then, because of Arsenio, some of these other shows were starting to book hip-hop artists and artists of color.
Please welcome Public Enemy.
Public Enemy for David Letterman. Yeah, boy. Chuck D.
With ratings in free fall, the grind of a nightly show begins to wear Arsenio down.
After 3 years,
It's full.
Arsenio
I'm full.
was tired. When for the third or fourth time you're going to interview Brooke Shields, I can't blame you if your mind goes on automatic.
Let's talk about.
Do your best.
What should we talk about?
You could just see the eyes glazing over. What was on the air was not great.
Perhaps with an eye to revitalize the struggling show, Arsenio decides to have on one of the most controversial figures of the 1990s.
I got called down to Arsenio's office. There's Arsenio. And he says to me, "Bill, I've got great news. I booked Minister Louis Farrakhan." I looked at him and I said, "Every Jew in Hollywood's gonna hate your guts."
He says then he'll expose the real corruption in America.
Of how many senators are honorary members of the Israeli Knesset?
What?
It's a huge mistake. Don't do that.
Your
inventory is full.
The 90s is back for more.
People just letting their freak flag fly.
More exclusive eyewitness confessions.
Working on SNL really is survival of the fittest. Okay, I'm gonna make it out. Oh.
I was there. It was unbelievable. I'm Steven Sergio, and I extorted Scores Gentlemen's Club.
More conflicts.
He was very disrespectful. It was all about David Caruso.
I think they got a bit fed up with hearing how much they owed to Simon Fully.
More over-the-top behavior.
From my understanding, he was using heroin.
They were lighting cars on fire to sell car wax at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Andre
I don't
showed
like
up
that
to a
story.
tennis
Shut
tournament
up.
with Levi jeans on.
And more struggles with fame and fortune.
I don't think anybody saw it coming.
Join me, Mark McGrath, as we travel back to the 90s, dark side of the 90s.
Tuesdays at 10 on Vice.
In early 1994, with his ratings down 24% amidst a crowded late-night landscape, Arsenio writes a letter to Paramount, informing them that this will be his last season. It's assumed that sinking ratings are why Arsenio ends the show, but that's only part of the story. And it takes 18 years for Arsenio to finally reveal his true motivation.
There is a point where you say, I can't please anybody. Spike Lee saying I'm an Uncle Tom, and white people saying I'm too black. Who am I doing this for? So there's a point where I'm trying to please everybody. Please anyone.
White people saying I'm too black.
Eked a little bit more out of it had he wanted to fight, but it would have been really sad, right? So he was going to end it how he wanted to end it.
And how he wanted it to end.
And the Oh My God
was
is
by
about
booking
white
Louis
people, not him.
Farrakhan on the show.
Louis Farrakhan. Recently, his aide, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, called Jewish people the bloodsuckers of the black nation.
Oh my God.
Is a racist, is to put it mildly.
What?
Louis Farrakhan. He is controversial. He often says things that are misogynistic, that can be anti-Semitic, sexist, you name it, right?
It was definitely a shock to television history having Louis Farrakhan on television. That fell right in line with what Arsenio's always done. It's just the individual happened to be a bit more disliked the most.
I don't agree with necessarily everything he says, but he is a black man and he's done a lot of good for a lot of black people. And if they don't like it, to hell with it.
The thing about the Nation of Islam, though, especially in the early 90s, is they offered education, they offered food programs, and honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who was of age during that time who can't speak to a family member or them themselves who went through a period of following Farrakhan or at least listening.
But for one of Arsenio's producers, having Farrakhan on the show was a professional do-or-die decision.
I said, not only will I not produce it, I can't be a part of not only that show, then I can't be part of this show if you do it. He said, no, I'm going to do Minister Louis Farrakhan. Literally went upstairs, got on the phone and started talking to my friends in the industry. Said, this train is going to crash. I got to get another gig. Help me. And that is how I got to be the co-producer on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
talks about how you beat up on the white man, but you beat up on us more than you beat up on anybody. To rebuke a person, to admonish or to correct a person does not mean hate. When someone will correct you, that is the greatest sign of their love.
Arsenio gives Farrakhan the entire TV hour and neglects to challenge the Nation of Islam leader on any of his more controversial statements.
That was probably the biggest thing he was criticized for sure. Folks saying that he was too casual in conversation with him. He didn't ask the hard questions for him. Arsenio's the type of person that always asks the hard questions. In this case, I'll kind of agree he didn't.
Afterwards, it was like someone had farted in the room. You just don't discuss it.
On April 18th, 2 months after the Farrakhan episode airs, Arsenio Hall publicly announces he's not going to continue the show.
Yo was in the house!
What follows is one of the most star-studded send-offs in late-night history. The climax is during Arsenio's last week on air with a segment produced by the matriarch of hip-hop, Queen Latifah.
Guru Gangstar. That's my favorite rapper almost. Okay.
On April 27th, 1994, Arsenio does his last
I'm just
fist
gonna
bump
run
as
my
host
chain
of the
spell
Arsenio
now.
Hall show.
We felt like he left proudly, but we were still upset. You know, we were losing Arsenio, and we were not getting a comparable replacement.
Late night went again to be a space for
Why is that not
white
working?
men to control our late night.
The attempts to establish black hosts on late night, and there have been several, They just have not panned out for whatever reason.
In 2022, audiences get a brief look at what they've been missing.
That's right, I'm rebooting my talk show.
Nice.
I still got it. I still got it.
I just don't think that it's been until recently that people have really looked back and said, oh, there was something to that. A zeitgeist moment, you know, that I think only could have happened like in that space.
This was good, but it was a little like sort of, I don't know what the word is for this. It's a little schlocky. So what else? Don't I have other things in the queue? Yes, I do.
Show and it entertained.
Okay, thank you, Vice, for the excellent content from a stream. I'd like to sub to your channel.
Man, he had a hell of a run.
Let's look at
What would you do if I said there was a lot of degenerates in 2023, in the year of 2023 that I covered on my channel? And then what would you do if I were to said, we're having a marathon? And this is not because I'm lazy and a POS, but because I had an ad due. And then what would you do if I said, thank you all so much for supporting my channel in 2023 and continuing into 2024. You have no idea how insanely grateful I am that this is my job. I want to announce crazy shit.
Wow,
I won't be able to announce it.
doubled
Something's insane is coming. Okay, guys, and that's all I can make it. And it makes me a little busy for YouTube. A little busy for YouTube all the time. I'm not retiring YouTube, but tomorrow there'll be a normal video. Okay, today not so much. Enjoy this advertisement and then 2 hours of content. Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video.
Well, hi there, feller. Well, hi there.
Being an adult has a lot of pros. You can eat as much candy as you want and no one will tell you not to. But when you've eaten a metric ton of candy in a week and you need to call a doctor, it shouldn't be a chore to find one. And then subsequently schedule an appointment with a healthcare professional. Today's sponsor, ZocDoc, will help you with that. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors. You can choose the right one for your needs and instantly book an appointment with a healthcare professional. From mental health to dental health, from eye care to skin care, and many, many much more. You can filter which doctors take your insurance. It's a pain in the ass. All this stuff, ZocDoc makes it really easy. Whoa! Whoa! You can filter doctors who are nearby who take your insurance. You can see who's highly rated by verified patients. You can see their appointment openings, etc. You can choose a time that works for you. It makes it very, very, very simple. And you click to instantly book a visit. Plus, ZocDoc appointments can happen fast within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even sometimes get same-day appointments. Health is something that I take massively seriously, and in the event I need to visit a healthcare professional, I use ZocDoc. So does my parents. I have actually my dad. Both of them, you've used it. Go get a checkup, brothers and sisters. Go to ZocDoc/Oompaville. Support the channel. That's ZocDoc.com/Oompaville. Go get your health check. Probably seen Sniper Wolf being talked about recently on YouTube a lot, mainly by Jack's Films. And by God, I tell you what, I've been talking about Sniper Wolf for a long time, all right? She makes really interesting content.
Grandma, to take the mesh, wrap it around these two poles. No, wait, that's not a loofah yet. You gotta tie the inside. Whoa, she going crisscross applesauce. And then somehow, I don't know what she's doing, but it turned into a loofah.
She's figured it out. She has figured it out literally. Lowest amount of effort, highest amount of money made. She makes so much money, gets so many views, has a very loyal audience, and on top of all of that is praised by the platform that she posts on. Why? Well, I don't really know. Today we're going to be taking an unbiased look, as unbiased as I can muster, into the past of sexy Sniper Wolf, whatever her name is, Sniper Wolf. There's a lot. She's been on the platform for a long time, and honestly, I've been thinking about her a lot, mainly because she is beautiful. That's really weird to probably start this out with. I've been thinking about her a lot because she gets probably just as much hate as she gets love from people on the website. Does she deserve the love? Does she deserve the hate? That's what I want to know. Does she actually deserve the hate? Is Sniper Wolf a bad person? Let's find out, guys. Snipey Wolf has been around for a very, very, very long time. In early 2010, her original channel, that some people say is her channel, she says it's not her channel, was called Sexy Sniper. This was a time in which women playing video games was rare. That was like a unicorn type thing, a rare, big chungus. I don't know. This was in early 2010. She had this channel, allegedly. I really don't know. For some reason, she says it wasn't her, but it was. This was also a month before I created my channel. I've had my channel since November of 2010.
Alright, you guys, I'm going to show you how to mod Borderlands today.
Leah is her real name, by the way. She was posting on this channel videos of herself playing Call of Duty, which was absolutely massive at the time, incredibly relevant. The tip of the spear for gaming back in the 2010s, and still now somehow. I don't understand that, but oh well. She would give her takes on the game, whether or not she was enjoying it, how good it was, and she had a bit of a webcam footage epic add-on to go with it. It was really cool. It was a classic Let's Play.
It's kind of hard. I don't want to say that about a COD game because you know it's COD and stuff. Well, it's not that it's hard. It's just like the hit detection was like awful, terrible in this game.
And on this channel, other than gaming stuff, she would make random vlog conversation things. It was sort of schizophrenic.
Who is he? I don't know. No, just look at him. Oh, look, he's like buff and she's like, oh, my girls are asking about makeup.
Interesting thing to vlog, but we'll move on. And the most popular thing that Sexy Sniper would do on her channel back in the olden days, aside from just play COD, was rant in vlogs and talk about things that she was upset about.
When I said something a while ago, I was like, he was like talking about how he wanted me to be his girlfriend and stuff, and he was like talking about, okay,
I got a new butt cushion. I got a new butt cushion. And it feels so good. It's gonna be so much better than the stupid ass plate of the chair. I actually really like this chair. Well, I'm on the bike. Is that what that sound is? Yeah, it is. I'm still on the bike, yeah. Damn, she wrecked that thing. I love my little red thing. It's so awesome. Little auto attack thing. Everything gonna see alright. Everything gonna see alright. Jesus Christ. Fucking crip motherfuckers.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. She was also in an interview around this time where she told everyone her name. She was able to shout out her channel as well. And just to make 100% sure that it was in fact Leah, they left her tag Leah Valentine at the end of the video. This is an old title that she used to call herself instead of her full name, Elias Shalesh, Greek Turkish. As you can imagine, her being a beautiful woman and being able to speak and post things on the internet and playing video games got her a lot of attention. I've never seen a pretty lady play video games before. How do I subscribe? This, as it does now for women, unfortunately, whenever they just post videos online, a lot of perverts and creeps kind of get hyper obsessed, and this happened to her. She was posting cosplay, too, at the time, dress ups. She'd wear skimpy clothing. Guys, it made sense.
like a thong and it has like a bow in the back. Oh my god, it's so cute. And you know who? I'm gonna take pictures tonight.
And back in the day, as you can imagine, this got her a lot of hate. People would call her a or all those types of names because she's just showing herself off on her YouTube channel. Yeah, so it's just classic weird 2010s content. It feels almost rotten to watch it. I feel like I shouldn't be watching it, or this is something that I normally would have to pay for, which I don't watch porn, by the way, guys, and I'm not saying this is but I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm extremely red-pilled alpha male. So I'm like, rape my biceps. Now, the people that were calling her a were obviously wrong for doing this. You can do whatever you want online, and you don't need to be called a fucking squirrel. She's doing neither of those things. But this is one of the main points of contention that people have for Sniper Wolf because of the way that she treated other women. More specifically, the way that she talked about women who did essentially the exact same thing that she used to do. Now, during this time as well, Leah was a very toxic user on all social media platforms. She was constantly tweeting people and calling people out on forums. And to give her the benefit of the doubt, this was an edgy time and a toxic time online. It was dangerous. You had iDubbbz, Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, FaZe, COD, Halo. It was just a breeding ground of racism and incredibly edgy shit.
I don't know, my frames are in the garbage, and I kind of want to change it.
Before the dark times of the adpocalypse in 2017, PewDiePie, pretty much anything could go and did. And this is, by the way, years. This is pre-iDubbbz Filthy Frank. This is 2011, 2012. This is old. So here's her saying, lol, NGGGA, I get like 10 a day off YouTube. Broke ass. Now, I'm also not 100% sure if this is her, but Sexy Sniper does appear to be Leah. Okay, it does appear to be Sniper Wolf, and it makes sense why you would want to get rid of Sexy Sniper when you have all of this context, all of these terrible things, including the and shaming, which we will circle back to. In 2013, Leah changed her name from Sexy Sniper to SS Sniper Wolf. She kept on uploading Q&As, vlogs, random COD, gameplays, montages, kill streaks, all that awesome stuff. And the videos would do very well at the time especially. She garnered a fairly large audience. In around a year, she hit a 100,000 subscriber milestone on this channel. Sexy Sniper Wolf.
Hey guys, what's up? So today is a super special video because I hit 100,000 subscribers today. And I just wanted to make this video.
Hells yeah.
Now,
Grats?
Sexy Sniper Wolf did a really good job of growing her channel. She did things like cause drama, get into drama, insert herself into drama. And that, if you didn't know, just makes channels absolutely explode because it makes people care about something that they otherwise wouldn't care about. It's what I do on my channel. And because I love hearing myself think. That's why I make videos. I love hearing my thoughts turn into words. Years went by and the content did incredibly well for Sexy Sniper Wolf, guys. Her sub count continued to grow. Her bank account grew as well. But people still tried to bring her down back in the day. In fact, back in the olden times, they accused her of faking gameplay. We'll talk more about that in a second. We are now at the point in which Sniper Wolf is recognized as a established creator. Her name is becoming more relevant. People are actually starting to care, okay? She's gaining a reputation. She's becoming this beautiful girl who's making pretty interesting content, entertaining stuff for the time especially, revealing her darkest secrets with her boyfriend Sausage. That's a gold video right there. Look at Sausage, what a fella. Now, as the result of reaching a point where you are an established creator on YouTube, there's a bunch of channels that will cover that sort of thing. There was a channel called Before They Were Famous that made a video on Sniper Wolf, and it brought up a lot of topics similar to what I'm bringing up now that Sexy Sniper Wolf wanted to stay buried, for sure. Really, extremely buried. Look at this thumbnail. Wow, dude. This video is no longer available on YouTube, if you can imagine why, because it goes over some randy stuff, guys, to be honest. I'm not sure how much we can put it out there.
Yes.
And multiple people
Fuck, you stressed me out. I was like, fucking bird.
Via copyright strikes
fucking
from
bird.
Leah.
Fuck you,
it's
bird.
happened before.
I have a YouTube.
180 XP though.
Sexy Sniper. I have like gameplay and stuff, and I do vlogs.
Did you do modeling?
No.
And while she was pumping out these turbo sexy videos, she was also working at Hollister folding clothes. So you can understand the girl wanted to get her life going and start making some dough. She's a bit of a tease, but I don't blame her.
She's a bit of a tease, but I don't blame her.
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, Michael McCrudden? This Before They Were Famous video by Michael McCrudden is taken off YouTube, but fortunately, we have basically the whole thing that Leah reacted to on her own channel. And there's some interesting things in it. I want to circle back to when I said that she was accused of faking her own gameplay. Now, this gets a little complicated, so strap in. In Sniper Wolf's reaction to the Before They Were Famous video, she conveniently leaves out the sexy sniper part and says she started off posting gameplay stuff. Makes sense because it's sort of f***ed up to be attached to that old moniker. I get why. She then goes on to say that X Remembrance is not sausage. Who's that? Why do we care? Well, it's this guy I mentioned earlier with sausage. This guy.
Talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does.
That's X Remembrance. She says that's not X Remembrance. Before They Were Famous guy says that is. Who is it?
Why is he trying to make it seem like sausage is this X Remembrance guy? If you go on Twitter and search X Remembrance, it's this guy called Ricardo, and he was on MGO. Why is he trying to make it seem like sausage is this guy?
But we all know and love him today as Mr. Sausage.
But it's not even him! How can you be so wrong in this video?
What is going on? Help. We'll start off on Sniper Wolf's side here and say that it's not sausage, aka Evan. But coincidences, they're kind of rare. This X Remembrance fellow was on Metal Gear Online at the same time she was, and he was fairly well known in the community, as was she. On a forum online, someone posted the real names attached to the online usernames of people who were in the MGO community. This included X Remembrance, with his real name being Evan. And we know that her ex-boyfriend now, Sausage, is named Evan because of this. Now, I don't want to say anything bad about this, but it's pretty awesome that my favorite YouTuber, Sniper Wolf, who was arrested for armed robbery. That's fucking awesome. And I did some research into it, and it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. But this is Evan, for sure. This is Sausage. And the dude named X Remembrance on MGO just happens to be named Evan as well. By the way, Sniper Wolf really doesn't try to hide this. She made a video that is deleted now.
Yeah, when you're desperate, you'll do fucked up things. Yep.
Jail is terrible, guys. I know most of you probably haven't been there, but you guys do not want to go there. And they make it like that on purpose, especially in Arizona. Like, I've heard Arizona has the worst jail, so you don't commit a crime again.
But in her video, she pretty much just explains the robbery in a way where it doesn't seem very bad at all. But armed robbery, I think you have to have a weapon. She doesn't ever really mention that. And she also doesn't mention what happened to Evan and why he was involved. So I don't know what the happened, and I don't think we ever will. And I couldn't find any information through, you know, some digging. But yeah, we'll go back to X Remembrance here. Evan. We have some comments from X Remembrance's old YouTube channel that sort of adds more to the whole coincidence side of the story. This man's YouTube channel was called XREM1217. He showed highlights of his gameplays on the channel and talked about leaving the creator space to work on a new project. Check out this comment from 2012. I have plans for a partnership on an entirely different account. Chances are every single person subscribed to me will be subscribed to the other account without even realizing it's me. It's gonna be big. So he's involved, but no one's gonna know that it's him? Well, what does that mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean? Tell me! Well, he did tell us. He said, I've been going back to play Modern Warfare 3 all day for a MILF for a few days. A MILF? What, bro? What? A MILF? Who's the MILF? It's exactly what I said. Just like Leah with MGO, I was doing that with a MILF on Modern Warfare 3. Sup? This guy's a pimp. Dropping names? That's awesome. What MILF did he fake video gameplay for Modern Warfare 3? What the... And he did it with a person named Leah as well? That's weird. So I don't really know if this is the MILF, but this is a person named Aura who he did this with. Except you get no cred. That doesn't bother me, because Leah gives you cred. The views subs are all I want, Willie. She doesn't give me cred either. I think this might be the MILF. I really don't know. It's not about the subs, man. It's about getting paid. Paid for the gaming. He got zero recognition. So there's a theory out there that X Remembrance is Evan,
thing?
and Evan just did all of the gaming for the channel in the very beginning, and she was just like a hot front woman for the whole show. Makes sense. I would do the same thing. That's a genius business decision. And now to hit 100% on the
you killed
mark,
Bosch?
check this out.
Does he get back up at the end or whatever?
1217 was last active on January 19th, 2013, the day that the Sniper Wolf channel was created. So he moved on to a new gamer tag, Sniper Wolf. Or whatever the gamer PlayStation name or whatever. So does this mean she faked all her gameplay and is a total fraud? No, probably not. But it is a theory that people have, and I do think she was actually very good at COD, personally, I believe. I just need to believe that for myself. But was she getting kill streaks crazier than pros? I don't know about that.
So today I got my best flawless game ever, and it's 156-0, domination on raid. I was using that MTAR with quick draw and a silencer.
I don't know. It's not good content, I gotta say. She really stepped her game up, to be honest. Sniper Wolf has not always been the kind person that she is now. She genuinely appears to be a good person in her videos. She just laughs, talks, kind of bubbly, seems kind of nice. I really don't know. Would you be surprised if you received a message from her that said this? Downy avatar looking 125 pounds is fat, you dumb pig. You suck more human than mother, so sit down, clown. You're such a dumb... You're mad because you're an insecure... I'm hot and I'm confident enough to say that. Boom, armed robbery right after. Leah kind of had a habit of being toxic and pointing out things that people would be sensitive about. Their nose, their weight, their faces.
Armed robbery.
Comment on your photo. You're disgusting as and you cake on makeup, I assume. One day I want to be just like you, a major... Then I recommend facial reconstructive surgery. You'll never get far with that butt... That one's pretty good. Because this is someone who's being very rude. She just comes out of the woodwork clapping back with emojis. With her just making fun of people all the time and saying they're ugly and stupid and need surgery, reconstructive surgery, etc. She made a video in 2017 saying she was going to have nose surgery to fix her deviated septum.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like my nose is just blocked. It's constantly blocked. And it's not something I want to live with forever. It's one of those things that would be like, my life would be so much easier if I could just breathe like a normal person. So that's why I want to do this.
Classic. We have photos you can tell that she got a nose job. She got rid of the I think that's called a Roman nose. I really don't know. In my opinion, I think that's fucking beautiful. I think women with large noses are beautiful, and I don't think there's any reason to change your nose. But if it makes you feel better about yourself, then you just do it. Who cares? What the it doesn't even matter. Like, and also calling people ugly when they have a big nose, that's just dumb as There's even a picture of her getting a black eye from the surgery, which is awesome. And in Nerd City's video, he made it very clear that it's almost impossible to get a black eye from a septoplasty. Very, very rare. Generally, there are no complications. He even consulted with one of his plastic surgery friends. Guy has plastic surgery friends. That's awesome. Constant back and forth with this woman. Everyone else is fake. I'm real. Don't attack people so much, and you won't get so much criticism yourself. Honey girl, baby boo-boo. Okay, that sounds good. In the end, though, Sniper Wolf would not ever learn her lesson of rudeness and hypocrisy. Now, on top of all of these incredibly epic things that we've talked about, there's also another aspect to the Sniper Wolf saga that I would like to call the drama farm. Sniper Wolf has been in a lot of drama. Some long ago, some more recent. We'll start from the beginning. Her first big drama was against another girl called Girl Gone Gamer. Girl Gone Gamer was basically doing the same thing that Sniper Wolf was doing at the same time. COD highlights, content, whatever. She was raking in a similar audience, taking away from hers, and this caused some drama. Leah called her out saying they should 1v1 to prove who was really the true COD Girl Gamer. This is incredibly awesome. This escalated and Leah got blocked by Girl Gone Gamer on Twitter. No!
I decided to make this video today because she actually unfollowed me off Twitter and blocked me because I asked for a 1v1.
I don't think I've ever really blocked anyone who wasn't just psychopathically attacking me on Twitter. Leah defended herself, saying her gameplay was real, and she recorded a live gameplay webcam COD experience to prove the authenticity. This is around when Leah had 50k subs, by the way. And she said that Girl Gone Gamer made one so much later, and the webcam and mic were synced, which means it was fake. Which is probably true. In all honesty, I bet both of them faked their gameplay.
Texture quality's
she ended up doing the
low.
live commentary finally after like 400k, which me and a lot
VFX
of people
could
knew,
probably go
obviously,
higher.
it's fake.
This was the first drama. Sniper Wolf won. Girl Gone Gamer. I don't even know what she's doing now. I genuinely have no idea. She probably was faking her gameplay. In fact,
yep, this is perfect. This is the frames.
She stepped down. Sniper
Took me a
Wolf
minute to get there.
stepped up, consumed her whole. It was incredible. And to this day, there has never been a response from
really
Girl Gone
good.
Gamer. So we'll never
Even
know
though it's
if
like
it truly
running all
was
of
fake.
these.
Nor do we give a singular This was just the first drama. The next drama was with a person named Enigma Hood, aka Sniper Wolf's biggest hater. Enigma Hood was an incredibly small YouTube channel that decided to call out Leah way before the Sniper Wolf channel, back during the sexy sniper era. Enigma Hood was a man that would talk about politics, drama, and some of these dramas were about Leah. In November of 2012, Enigma Hood created a video talking about Leah. He called her out for insulting her fans and leading them on.
Just recently, she made a video that really annoyed me, that really pissed me off.
This guy gives off very strong incel vibes, and I kind of like him, to be honest. This old boy, when he was making videos about Sniper Wolf, for his arguments, he used clips of Leah's videos in his video. It's fair use, still a thing, it was a thing, but this got under Sniper Wolf's skin, and she false flagged, DMCA'd his video, and Enigma Hood was not happy. He decided to go off on her on Twitter. He made a video about a racist tweet that she supposedly favorited that called him some terrible
Discord
slurs.
reached
Troll who
500,000
flagged.
members.
Epic Chad. Is this guy like a mean guy or something? I've seen him around. You freaking Indian. How dare you disrespect you? I don't even know what that is. She liked it. She would then false DMCA that video again. And then Leah made a video about the big hater she had, Enigma Hood. I assume it was him. He said it was a nameless hater who wears a hood. Probably a Enigma Hood guy, random big hater.
He pretty much wears nothing but a hoodie, puts a hood over his face, and makes vlogs crying about every little thing he doesn't like. And I know he may appear to be a middle-aged man, but don't let his looks fool you. He's still pretty much a confused, little, scared 13-year-old girl who just got her period and doesn't know what to do.
He's not even really insulting her that much. He's being pretty genuine. It's not really hate if it's true and right. She says that he just uploaded her own video to his channel and insulted her over it, which, funnily enough, it was a sexy sniper video, and she denies that brand, so it's even funnier. Another coincidence, I suppose. She also then says that there's no proof that she's the one taking them down, which is pretty true, I guess, and re-uploads do exist.
There, with
of our
better
favorite
frames,
masked,
it feels good.
Hooded creator, whatever, I really don't know. He seems like a cool guy. Maybe a virgin, but a cool guy nonetheless. She also responded to Enigma Hood's racist allegations, and she says that he cried like a little girl and that she never favorited it. She said it wasn't her that favorited it, so it probably wasn't, right, guys?
I want to bump this, but you're going to make me restart the client.
But this
no,
wasn't the end
no, it
of
was
Sniper
fine.
Wolf tarnishing
It was actually the
Enigma
overall
Hood
settings.
name.
They need to be on
In
medium.
2016, on August 10th, Leah uploaded a video called My Biggest Hater. She talks about the previous drama she complained about before with Enigma, with him re-uploading her content and then her copyright claiming it. And by copyright claiming the video, she mentioned she was able to grab his real name, but that's odd because she said that she had no proof it was her copyright claiming the video, but now she has his name. So I guess it was her, though. I guess that's what we can... We don't have to trust her word, but we can, like, let her eventually tell the truth, maybe. Now we trust her, though. Now we trust her. She then says she Googled his name and that he's a registered offender.
And of course, I Googled his name, and it turns out he is a registered offender. He's 30-something years old, lives with his parents still, makes YouTube videos with a hood on. Now you know what kind of person this guy is.
She then talks about how people think she likes fat guys or would date an ugly person like Enigma Hood. Yet again, attacking someone's looks and not their character.
First of all, people have this impression that I like fat guys, or I like guys that look like this ugly motherfucker. No. I like sausage because he's a sausage.
Thankfully, another YouTuber was quick to search the offender registry and could not find a registry for Enigma Hood. But still, Sniper Wolf, someone with over 7 million subscribers at the time, was attacking a dude with 5K, absolutely flooding his channel with hate and anger, saying he's a registered offender. There's pretty much no other substance in the video aside from just calling Enigma Hood a piece of shit, which is a fair argument because a lot of his videos are racist as well.
So in this video, I'm going to discuss Adam Cheapot Goldman, aka Mr. Lengus's hatred of Arab people.
Just two pieces of shit fighting each other, it seems like. But calling someone a sex offender with no substance or proof, that is a very, very, very low blow. And believe it or not, Enigma Hood filed a defamation lawsuit against Sniper Wolf, but it didn't actually end up ever going fully through all the different tests to get to trial. And since Enigma Hood couldn't prove these 3 tests, the case was dropped and her video continues to exist, has 3 million views on her channel. Pretty cool. And in 2020, Enigma Hood made a video talking about how he's still getting hate from the video of her calling him a offender. That is crazy to just call someone a sex offender and then just like get away with it, and still people think it's completely true. I mean, look at this guy. He still gets harassed. Look at him. A lot of downvotes. His whole public image was completely ruined just because he wears a hood and because some random woman in California thinks he's a registered sex offender. Enough Enigma Hood. Let's go to FaZe Clan. You know about FaZe Clan? You heard of them? I don't like them. Just kidding. I used to love them. This all happened during the new era of YouTube. We had Jake Paul, Team 10, Clout House, Beef. This was truly the iDubbbz Filthy Frank. There was a lot of drama and disputes in this era.
I think she's dating his friend. Yeah, her roommate. She's just like, I'm gonna just fuck everybody to get a free room.
Oh my god.
This is why I hate girls. Everyone.
Sniper Wolf decided to step up to the plate and join all the cool drama of the time, and she called FaZe Banks ex-girlfriend, some girl, Alyssa Violet, you've heard of her probably, and another girl, Summer Rae, she called them hookers. And FaZe Bank did not like that on Twitter. Banks even dragged another member of FaZe Clan into the drama, FaZe Censor, who apparently had a bunch of text messages with Sniper Wolf. Yo, Doug, my guy, FaZe Censor, how many times did Sniper Wolf hit you up for that FaZe while she had a boyfriend?
Ouch! That's rough!
FaZe responded and went over the tweet Sniper Wolf made towards his ex-girlfriend Yanette. I'm not sure how to say that name. She called her out and said she had to fake. Very classic, very classic. Coming from a girl with a real accent.
LMAO, your boyfriend was texting me and was trying to hook up with me before he made you famous. Nice implants, by the way, at least mine is real.
So, you are a liar and my boss is real.
I miss that drama days. That was embarrassing. And Censor and Sniper Wolf had collabed before that, so they had some history. But then Sniper Wolf goes into DMs to try to clear things up. And he responds her saying he did get DMs from her because she texted him that she was in an abusive relationship. I assume with Sausage, I don't exactly know. Then FaZe Censor shows proof, and he went to Verizon to even get text history between himself and Sniper Wolf. Here it is, right there, epic. And after this video was posted, Censor made a new video saying he was being threatened with a lawsuit by Sniper Wolf and Sausage. Sausage texted him. Sausage, by the way, is Evan, aka X-Remembrance, aka Chief Gamer in Charge. And he kind of goes over and says that he's gonna basically be sued, or not, if he takes all his shit down. Hey, Doug, can you confirm this is your number? It's Evan. Evan who? Sausage. What's up? Sausage says the texts are fake and can't be found with recovery software, and then he says there's a couple options we can do here, or you get sued. Censor asks about the options. Sausage says he can either A, tweet that the texts are fake and take his video down and work with a lawyer on an apology video, and he can also cover the fees. Censor can, by the way. It should be just a few grand. Or B, she proceeds with the actual lawsuit. There'll be a ton of money, ton of stress, and a ton of damages, and she has full proof to win the case. Censor, as you can imagine, got super fired up and wasn't going to back down.
Sue me and go through hell with me, because I'm gonna go all the way to the grave to show everyone in the world that you are a liar and that you need to own up to your mistakes. This is a perfect opportunity for you to come out and apologize, because if you want trouble, you're asking the wrong guy. I will put you through trouble, and I will prove that you are wrong. She will most likely take the fight to you so she doesn't have to worry about lack of personal jurisdiction. There will be tons of legal fees and then damages, which she has proof of. What proof? What damages?
I think the average person who she has attacked in the past would just take it in the ass and just kind of let things go. Censor did not, and he wasn't going to back down. He stood up for himself, and lo and behold, there was no lawsuit. Okay, makes sense. And guess what? Sniper Wolf apologized on Twitter. She said, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. It was wrong what I said, and no one deserves to be judged without knowing. But beyond apologizing to Alyssa Violet, she didn't apologize to anyone else, and nothing else happened. This is the worst drama, in my opinion, that Sniper Wolf has been up until this point. There's still potential, though. We could have another one coming up very soon. In 2021, a terminally ill 10-year-old girl by the name of Kiara was on a channel called No Jumper. It's a podcast. They do other stuff, too, aside from just a podcast. But she was on that channel, and they made her feel loved. They gave her some money, some random gifts, etc. It was around Christmas.
What do you say? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's okay. Can I get a hug?
Oh,
It's okay.
When she was being interviewed by the people there, they asked her what her favorite person on TikTok was or who she followed, and she said her favorite YouTuber is Sniper Wolf.
Who's your favorite person you follow on TikTok?
Sniper Wolf. She's like a really big YouTuber.
Who's your favorite? Sniper Wolf. You don't know about her. We gotta show you. You gotta put me on.
They laughed and joked about it, and then they let her know that they'd get in contact with her for her. And over the next couple days, a lot of stuff happened that, in my opinion, is quite heartbreaking. So Sniper Wolf reaches out to the mom and says that she would love to send her a message. Here's the full texts. This is awesome, in my opinion. What a great thing for Sniper Wolf to do. Just take a couple minutes out of her day to make a little girl's dream, whatever it may be, something come true. Sniper Wolf says that tomorrow would work, and if not, then Sunday. Okay? The mom seems very, very, very excited and says, just message us when you're ready. Then the mom posted a story saying that she's going to have a video call with Sniper Wolf, and then Sniper Wolf asked her not to share that because she'll get spammed, which that's fair, I guess. She doesn't normally do this for other people. I guess that's fair. The mom apologizes. She says, I have no clue. So then some time goes by. They can't seem to get it all worked out. Sniper Wolf says, hey, I can do it in 2 hours. Then the mom says, that is 11 p.m. over on this side. We live in Massachusetts. Kiara will most likely not be awake. Sniper Wolf said, oh, okay, hopefully tomorrow. Does any time work during the day? So then the mom says, Kiara is up. We can do it whenever. And Sniper Wolf says, hey, sorry, I won't be home for another 2 hours. Might be too late. We can keep trying, but my day's usually very busy. Then the mom kind of gets disappointed. It's cool to be busy, whatever, but it's also a 10-year-old that has terminal cancer. So maybe set some time aside. Just maybe set some time aside from your very busy day. No matter what you're doing, maybe just set some time aside. You know, it's not that hard. The mom calls her out on her bullshit and then posts it on her story, and Sniper Wolf is obviously upset. She says, no need to be rude. I said I would do it. It's Christmas and my family is visiting from out of town. She says, we are good. I cannot imagine how frustrating that would be to deal with someone who is just so holier than thou and incredibly self-obsessed and just entitled. It's wild, man. And then the wildfire started. Keemstar called her out. People got mad. She started calling people out. Are you dumb? I said I'm doing it, so I'm doing it. I never ghosted. I was trying to find time that worked, and she blocked me. So Leah just tries defending herself by posting the messages on Twitter, but no one's really having it because it's a terminally ill 10-year-old girl. No one's going to be on the side
Sounds
of
like you baited
the
her.
incredibly rich and entitled YouTuber known as Sniper Wolf, even if she's sexy. We did eventually find proof that she did get in contact back with the mom and eventually also talked to Kiara herself.
Oh, good.
Here's the text. Incredible. Beautiful. Just a few days later, after all this stuff happened, the same day that Sniper Wolf retweeted the Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 tomorrow, Kiara passed away. Kind of seems very scummy, whatever. At least in the end, she did eventually make time away from her eating delicious cake at restaurants to talk to the terminally ill girl.
What?
But it took a while, you know? It took a while. Probably shouldn't have taken that long. Now, the most contentious point of Sniper Wolf's career is what she's doing now. Jax Films has kind of exposed the brainless tactic of her creating content for what it is. A completely brainless thing that has no positive impact on the world whatsoever. It doesn't do anything. And it is the
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It is transformative content that the kids desperately want. They desperately need. They need to feel like they're a bunch of people all watching the same television show. I don't know why they need to feel like this, but that's what they're into. Is it bad? No. Sniper Wolf would say the same, right? Is it bad that people want to sit and watch a streamer watch TikTok? No. No. Not at all. If it brings joy to her people every single day, gives them something to do while they sit back and tap on their cell phones and they tune in to Sniper Wolf while she watches TikToks about beauty and fashion and shit like that, right? The girls need something to focus on the same way the boys need video games and fucking, you know, or whatever else boys fucking focus on or whatever. You know, I know in my case it's video games, but I'm sure men have many billions of myriad interests and stuff, whatever they're interested in. And so, no, like, she is transforming the content in the respect that, and people forget about this, she is re-streaming to tens of thousands of people And it's good for the people that she's showing on the TikTok. It's good for her channel. It's good for the people. It makes them happy. They need entertainment. Value and entertainment and recreation are valuable. The people need that. And I will stand and I will defend her job of doing what she does, which is taking other people's content and running it live and restreaming it to thousands of other people. I would love to have that kind of job myself. I am not a hater, you know? And, you know, and that's how I feel about that. Like, they came after her, and I'm like, a lot of this looks like misogyny to me. I think you're just jealous she made a lot of money. It's weird that they're like, what does she do? Well, she sits in front of an audience of, I mean, I don't know, most people actually can't really handle being in front of an audience of thousands of people. It's never really been a problem for me. When bad things happen while I'm doing it, it's a problem for me. But I mean, like, overall, like, you know, it's like not a problem for me to stand in front of thousands of people. I don't fear that. You know, it's whatever. And so I hope to one day reach her great heights where my tastes and interests appeal to people of my age. And I'm hoping maybe by the time I'm like 50 or 60 that I have a nice little, you know, following that doesn't really require me to talk to them because I'm basically mentally ill, you know. Got Asperger's and I'm an ex-drug addict and I'm alone right now in pretty much every sense of the word, and I need that. I love it, and I don't want it any other way. And I just, you know, and I just don't feel like I'm in this place to want to dance for the people or be this, like, you know, monkey for the people. I just want to do my life, and I want to expose it and show people what my life is every single day, what it's been all my life. I don't think there's a word for what I am, and I don't think there's a word for what she is. And honestly, you know, I understand what she does, and what she does bring joy to like millions of people, or she wouldn't have the millions of subs. I feel the same way about Pokimane and Asmongold and all these people. What does Asmongold really do? You know, I haven't listened to Asmongold on my channel in like a year and a half or something like that. I just outgrew Asmongold. I just think there's a lot of other streamers and content creators out there. But right now, here's Asmongold for right now today.
Things like this that genuinely make me believe that we are living in a
Thank
simulation.
you, Asmongold, for the excellent content from a stream. I've liked and sub to your channel. Thank you, Oompaville, for the excellent content from a stream. I've liked and sub to your channel. I got Vice. I got CBS. I had to change it. Women shocked they can't find a man. What? Okay, whatever. See, so now Asmongold's doing what she's doing. And that's kind of sad because we know that he's a talented gamer, but he's going to end up watching TikTok the rest of his goddamn life. Right there on YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff. That's okay. I hope to do the same exact thing. The difference is, right, one of the reasons why I don't want to do the chat is because I don't want it to break the focus of playing at least one, if not 4 fucking games at all fucking times. So if anybody ever comes at me, they could be like, oh, you're not you. I don't ever want anybody getting obsessed with me or pissed off or any of that stupid ass shit. I really don't. Because it's like, in the end, I'm still playing games in the background all the fucking time, showing you my MMO lifestyle. And the only reason other people's content is on in the background is because I do this for 14 hours a fucking day. And I need entertainment in the fucking background. It's unfair for me not to be exposed to the culture and learn and to be exposed to YouTube and study about my job and my peers and the people doing this and all this other stuff. And so now I just like I sit and I watch very carefully what all of them do, but I don't really care what most of them do. I don't believe there's a streamer or content provider on YouTube or Twitch that I dislike, because I assume that if they have an audience, there must be some fucking reason for that, even if it is just transforming content and restreaming to people. And honestly, people get jealous about that, restreaming other people's content to other people. Jack's Film seems to. But see, the difference is Sniper Wolf has always and will always and proceeds, you know, continues to always had a very strong personality. And that's what we are selling. When you combine other people's content with the delivery and the React content, she's not only is she doing React content, she's also restreaming, she's doing React content, she's exposing the world to her particular taste, she's getting in drama all the time, she knows all the rich people, she's famous, she's successful, she can have anything she wants. And honestly, I see the hatred as misogyny. It's one of the reasons why I watch this stuff, is I see the hatred as misogyny, kind of. These people seem to hate her. I don't really understand that. Now, I think it's funny that she got busted for armed robbery, but I'm not far fucking different from that myself. So I tend to kind of, like, honestly, unless she's fucking robbing people's grandmas and causing heart attacks or something like that, or full-blown actually, like, harming somebody, I'm not saying robbing people is okay. I'm saying I have known a bunch of criminal element people who have definitely committed robberies. I know a lot of people who have committed robberies, you know? It sucks, but it's true. I know a lot of people who have committed robberies. It sucks, but it's just part of the criminal element. So...
thing she's ever done. Sniper Wolf has not had a good run in 2023. A lot of critique has come out against her.
So like, you know, 7 fucking years ago, I went in a motel room and I jacked like $700 from my best friend. And I had to fess up to that motherfucker 3 months later. And on top of it, that money was stolen out of my fucking car when it was towed by the cops. The cops stole $700 from me. That's the God's honest truth. Cops ran off with my money. They didn't put it in the evidence list. They didn't put my PlayStation 4 or the money in the evidence list. It was disgusting. And that's the God's honest truth. I don't like cops, you know. So, I mean, I like cops. But I don't like some of the cops that I've dealt with, you know. And so now, I think about that all the time. I'm like, she could have just told the cops, and I would have been fucked up shit creek for fucking 10 years. And I think about that all the time. I tell her all the time, I'm like, you know, not only that, but we went and saved each other's lives a couple times after that. She saved my life. I fessed up to her. I paid that money. I paid triple that money, you know? I paid that money. I paid $2,100 in total. I paid $2,100. I was like, I fucked you. I took $700. I just didn't want you being with those people. You know, I don't want to go, and I can't go any deeper than that because it's her business and stuff. I just didn't want her being around drug people and all this other stuff. I was like, and I took the money, and here it is, and I just gave it back. You know, and it sucked, but it's true. And I think about that all the time. And you know what? That's a fucking robbery. I went up in her motel room and I fucking took her $700. It's a robbery. It was a robbery. It was 7 years ago. I'm beyond the statute on it and stuff, but it's funny. It's, you know, it was a robbery and she forgave me and I paid the money back and we quote unquote settled out of court or whatever. But I mean, like, you know, and I told her, as I told her, I was like, first of all, that money that went missing, it was me, and I'm sorry. Friends shouldn't do that to each other, and I don't ever expect to speak to you again. And this is how I approached it too. But I was like, here's the money, and here's triple the money, you know. And I did. I was like, I'm going to make this right. And then after that, I don't ever really expect you to talk to me ever again. But no, we ended up being best friends, you know. I did that because I was being manipulative, and I wanted her in my life. I couldn't really stand the idea of just bad people sort of taking control of her life while I was away, sort of dealing with being a drug dealer and all this other stuff. I felt that the people she was with were a really, really bad influence on not only her, but me by proxy and all this other stuff. I was just like, you got to get away. You got to get away from that. And subsequently, she did. When the money was gone, she got away from it. She was like, fuck this. One of my friends is a thief. And sure enough, it was me. But the difference was, is I came back and I paid it out triple. You know, I really did. You know, she herself, she's been on my stream before. We could tell this story. She'd probably be unhappy that I told the story. But I mean, like, it has a happy ending in the respect that it paid out triple for her. And like, I got to tell the story afterwards and keep the friendship because I fessed up and I admitted to my friend that I house robbed her, essentially. I didn't do this to harm her. As she saw later when I paid it out, I was like, I did not do this to harm you. I actually kept that money. I mean, the God's honest truth is, I kept that money in my, this is the God's honest truth too. Look at my eyes when I say it. Like, I kept that money in my fucking, what do they call that? Glove box. I kept that money in my glove box for 3.5 months, expecting it to just give it back to her. But then they towed my car. And it became this whole thing. And at that point, I had to take penance with her. I had to take penance with myself. I lost her money. I got myself in a bad situation, and that was kind of because of her. But it wasn't her fault in any way or form. It was just, you know, but it's just kind of funny. And it just sort of, and the whole thing kind of spiraled. And I realized, as I told her, it was like 3 months later, I was like, okay, and I didn't talk to her again. I paid her out, and then I was like, I didn't talk to her again for like a year. And she came after me. She was like, it's tragic what happened. You admitted what you did. You paid it. You figured it might help me when you did it, and it did actually help me. And she was like, it's tragic that you are torturing yourself to goddamn death. She knew I was just like drinking myself and smoking myself to death. And she was like, it's tragic that you won't forgive yourself. You have to let yourself just forgive yourself. You paid it out. You admitted what you did very soon after you did it. You know, all this other stuff. And I did. That's all the honest, that's all the honest truth. I bring her on the stream to say it. You know, I could talk about this stuff in public. But it wrecked me. It wrecked me horribly for a year. I was close to death. I was close to close to attempting suicide again. It wrecked me. But I mean, like, in the end, I began to realize one of the things I had to get better about was I damaged everybody. I damaged my family. I damaged my friends. I damaged my best friends. I was a skeevy ass little meth addicted fucking little bitch boy that stole from everybody and fucked around. I'll be the first one to say it. I jacked everybody that I knew in some way or form, in some veritable way or form, I would say. And I pretty much had to tell them afterwards, crying, you know. There were times when I passed judgment on other friends that I lost that were very close and dear to me. And the shit that they did wasn't even close to nearly as bad as what I did at all. But they did things I wouldn't do. Like fire a gun in a house where there were kids. And stuff like that. And so now I struggle with it. I just struggle with it. You know, I know that I can't ever have human connections again, that I shouldn't have love again. Like she tells me all the time that I should have love in my life, and I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I was a bad criminal and I fucked up. I ran with the bad people. I sold black tar heroin to a bunch of people, methamphetamine to a bunch of people. I sold a bunch of pills. I sold a bunch of designer pills to people, synth pills and stuff like that. I did a bunch of nasty ass shit. I met so many crazy skeevy drug girls and did so many nasty things with them. I went crazy, kind of. I used the robbery of her motel room as an excuse to go crazy. I just used this, like, when I fessed up to it and paid out, I just disappeared out of her life for a year. And she thought we were just going to talk the next day. But no, after I paid her out, I was like, nope. I have screwed her over. I have hurt her innocence. I have broken her trust in friends. I don't deserve a friend like that. I don't, you know, and all this other stuff. And I was like, nope. And for a year, I didn't talk to her. I was like, I don't believe that, you know, that like my other best friend, but I didn't fuck her over in any way or form, though. I was hard in her corner for 2 years and 7 months, because she just, you know, she was just hopeless. The day I met M, I knew deep down inside of my soul that she was hopeless. Not like she was like a lost cause, because she's not, never has been, never will be. But I knew that she was a lost soul that would never come back to us. and I chased her down the rabbit hole for 2 years and 7 months. And that's when I met my last one. And I was a broken human being by that point. I had chased her down the Black Tar rabbit hole too far. And I bring up all this stuff about things that streamers might say about their past. I bet a bunch of them will tell you that they've done every drug known under the sun. I bet you a ton of them will tell you that they've sold sex before. I think we're supposed to judge them. I think a ton of them will tell you that they've robbed people before, or robbed houses, or stolen cars. I bet you a ton of them will tell you they've been drug dealers before. A ton of these people will tell you that they've probably done really nasty things with taxes and, I mean, all this other stuff, you know? And Bitcoin and all these other things. And so looking to streamers to be role models. I don't look to streamers to be role models. I think about, you know, honestly, of the people that I watch tonight, Mark McGrath is more of a role model for me than all of these people making $10 million a month right now that just went through my list, like Vice, Oopaville, Philip DeFranco, CBS News, all these other fucking people that pop, you know, Real Stories and Charlie and fucking Sog and Some Ordinary Gamers and all this, and it's just like all these people that are making like 10 million a month out there, many videos that are successful and all that. I like them and I listen to their content, but I do not consider them idols. I don't consider him an idol. I don't consider Asmongold an idol. There's not a streamer out there that I consider an idol, probably because I consider them peers now. People might say I'll never pull the hits like them, and yeah, I came to the table very old. I was like mid-40s when I came to I was like 40 when I came to it. No, I was 39 when I came to this, actually. And like this, you know, I knew that I had Asperger's and that I was coming to the table late and that I had a big uphill battle and that I'd have to get over my own problems and that I would have to make some kind of agreement with humanity if I was ever going to deal with them in my job, which I haven't been able to do. I had to shut off the chat. I don't have the wherewithal. I have PTSD. All these other things that I think a lot of other streamers would tell you. I'm sure he's got issues like this. I'm sure they all do. I'm sure he's got issues like this. I'm sure they all do. The whole assumption that a cult of personality type that can entertain people all the fucking time, keep the personality going till 3 in the fucking morning or whatever, right? And this assumption that they're not like these fucking freaks is one that I don't really understand. I would say almost all of these cult of personality peoples, every face on the stream, from the Ninja's Career Died thing, cult of personality, Cody Co, personality, cult of personality. One day, I want them to talk about the squiggly cat, you know, and how much it's a cult of personality 20, 30 years later. I want them to talk about the squiggly cat that sits there in the background like a house cat that never talks to any of them, just sits there like a fucking house cat and puts on the video games and the React content and whatever the fuck's popular at the time. And I sing my songs, and I talk about my bands, and I talk about my peers, and I talk about the drugs, and I talk about surviving the robberies and the fucking the burglaries and the thefts and the drug deals and the robbery of friends, the complete based reality of living in the gutter and everything that it entailed. Got a pass that makes Satan jump out of his seat. Can't help my friends without potentially getting rolled by the pigs and getting carded because they can just see it when they see me. Like the way that I walk, the way that I talk, the way, you know, I don't know. And so I don't know. And to expect these people to be these golden perfect models, especially after they get a bunch of money, is patently false and ridiculous. And to me, I call that the folie à deux. It's the folie à deux, right? It's the folly of two. It's a French term, meaning that both people have to be engaged in it. Both the streamer and the fucking crowd believe that somehow both the crowd and the streamer are somehow good people because they're either connected with each other or they're famous and successful. Either the streamer is famous and successful, therefore the people look up to them no matter what they do, or the people live parasocially through like a restream of everything that the streamer does and everything that the streamer sees and everything that the streamer thinks. And that's my goal, to provide you guys all the fucking time. Now, am I able to do that without talking to people? Probably not. And I figured it would take... You know, I didn't figure this. I didn't figure on turning the chat off. I just didn't think that I would cater to people very long before I didn't need to anymore. And when I realized that I didn't want to cater to anybody beyond myself, like I've done my entire goddamn life, anybody that I've known, any friend that I've had, my family, anybody that I've ever known, all my best friends, everybody I know. Like, I got like 10 people I'm super fucking tight with that I would take a bullet for, and I think vice versa. I call them best friends, but I think you could basically call us a gang. We're like essentially a gang. Now, we don't roll anymore, but I mean, like, it was like a gang when it was tight like that when I was young. And I'm not around those people anymore, but the blood runs still thicker than water, and I would still take a bullet for most of them, and I would say it was probably the same. And these things, I did not get these things. I did not get these friends or these people or this way or these connections or this help or the government or the family without being 100% all the fucking time. If I done fucked up, I told them like the 10 or 20 myriad reasons that I reached that fucking state. Like when I had to fess up to her that I had stolen like $700 in goddamn cash right out of the fucking drawer, come in through the goddamn motel fucking bedroom door. And she was like, how do you even know how to do all this? Are you some crazy, shitty fucking burglar person? And I'm like, no. I have starved on the streets over the last 7 years so much that there's nights in the winter when I have to break into motel rooms to not die of exposure. And I use my knowledge of not dying of exposure on the fucking streets to just basically liberate your money from you. And then it sat there, and she could tell me, because I look her in the eyes, so she could tell I'm not lying about it. And I tell her, and the worst part is the goddamn 700 sat there in an envelope in my goddamn fucking driver's side fucking glove box until the pigs stole it. And that's the God's honest truth. It's not some lie. It's not some fucking fabrication to get her to believe me. It's the God's honest truth. She can see it in my fucking face when I say it to her. Am I proud of it? Fuck no. And fuck no. But, you know, there's just another bit of the whole bit of the life. That's the life for you. That's the game. That's the game that the rappers talk about. It's not good. It's full of hookers and drug dealers and bad people. Leads to bad things, bad places. You're drunk and you're high all of the fucking time. I'm talking, I walked around with a buzz for 13 years straight. Something like that. And so you do fucked up things. You do the most fucked up things. Okay, I'll spin out one. I'll spin a random memory that always comes to mind now these days. All the time. One time, I dialed up a hooker, but I didn't know she was a hooker. And we ended up being friends for a couple years after that, actually. And her name starts with C. And I never paid her for sex. I got her to get in my Uber car and masturbate with me together until it just full-blown turned into sex in the back of my Uber car. And all I had to do was get her high and tell her I had a vibrator that plugged into the AC-DC adapter that was in my Uber car. And then I proceeded to do nasty things with and to her for 3 hours out on 6th and Sims or something like that in some canyon out there. Colorado's kind of like California. It's got back canyons and stuff like that you can do naughty things in, and nothing's ever going to happen, you know. And yeah, and that's just when it full-blown led into like a 4-hour fuck session in the middle of a shift. I was like supposed to go meet people to go like get drugs and stuff. And now, the only reason I tell this story is okay, so you gotta understand what I'm talking about here. We sat in the back of a canyon in a rental car that I had for years, like 2 years, and we smoked meth out of we hot railed out of a fucking meth pipe, the broken shell of a meth pipe. And then we masturbated to break the fucking ice. And then I'll just leave it there at that point. I don't want to tell the sex story. That's not the point of this. It's talking about the depravity of what I was up to sometimes. And that was in the depths of all of that. I had no idea what was going on. I'd be up for 6 days straight. I don't think I knew what I was doing when I busted in the motel room. I don't know what I was doing when I got busted for fucking... Oh, I know what I was doing when I got busted for trespassing. The only reason I bring this stuff up is, like, the streamers are like this. I've known people like these streamers all of my life, and all of them have rap sheets and bullshit, just like me. And you got to remember, they're the cool kids. They're the cool kids who run the cool kids. You know, they're the cool kids. It's weird. No, I don't know if this kid was the cool kid, but a bunch of these people, like Sniper Wolf, I guarantee was the cool kid sooner or later. Now, she might not have been that when she started her career. But I mean, like, these are the cool kids, and the cool kids are always cocaine addicts, tweakers, heroin addicts. They drink too much, usually have DUIs, usually, like, tons of charges and bullshit that they can't explain, like the Sniper Wolf robbery thing. All kinds of people like that. I met many, many people like that, and I was proud to know them, frankly. Cult of personality people, totally like that. I had a friend... I wish I could say his name because I don't even know if he's still alive. He was my second friend who was a car thief. I've known about 6 car thief friends. 4 of them I didn't like. 2 of them I did. And because my friend R, the only time I ever met him was in the motel room of my dealer Poncho. And R was a career car thief, and he did it for the thrills. He was not in it for the money, but he was making a lot of money because he was a speed dealer. And so one of the things I learned was how to... I met the magic phone, which was Poncho, and then later, well, it was Shanks and Poncho. And, like, I met the magic phones, and then I realized that they knew every crazy cult of personality, speed or cocaine or heroin person in Denver. And I realized, I told them right in the hotel room, I'd tell them right to their face, I'd be like, you gotta introduce me to everybody that you know. You gotta get introduced to me to everybody that you know. You don't understand. I know everybody in every high school, and if I don't know them already, I will know them now. And they proceeded to do this. Both Shanks and A and P all introduced, and all these other dealers, and T. I knew all these crazy kingpins, and all of them were like, okay, we'll introduce you to the craziest people that we know. And I ended up doing, I met the cartel. I met some of the hottest heroin girls in history, maybe. I met, like, some of the craziest people I've ever even heard of or conceived of. I've saved some people in some high-speed chases. I've saved some lives. I've watched 3 overdoses. All 3 of them I watched and or helped participate in rescuing the people. All that crazy shit, right? These people are the same. He's the same. I bet Asmongold's the same. I bet they're all the same. Now Asmongold might not be the same. Some of these people actually might have been the fucking wallflower nerds that they profess to be. Like Asmongold, which is one of the reasons why he might be doing so well. He was like, I've never done drugs. I don't drink either. And people loved that. My parents loved that. You know, I don't like hearing that. I don't trust people like that. I never will trust people who don't drink or smoke. That just doesn't really make sense to me. That doesn't compute. Are you a human? But anyways, like, you know, so, you know, he was immensely popular, but I mean, he's one of the few that I can think of in this whole scene that isn't exactly like me. I'm sure they're all like this. I'm sure they're all like this. I bet they've all broken up marriages. I bet they've all dealt drugs. I bet these are the cult of personality people. Boogie, I bet Boogie's dealt drugs. I bet Boogie's hired hookers and been a drug dealer and all this crazy shit. I really do believe that a lot of those people are like this. And to try to say or try to pretend or to try to self-trick or parasocially trick yourself into believing that, just fool yourself, is like I would say the phrase for it would be folie à deux, is the streamer's belief that they're actually cool. Because when I look at his background, I see a middle-class dude who's kind of cool, but, you know, he's, you know, not that remarkable to me. He's got the girl repellent in the background. And while I think he should be famous because he is a very intelligent person, I've seen him make many, many amazing points before, I still see him as kind of a run-of-the-mill dude a little bit, you know? In terms of the people that I met. After a while in my scenes, it was common to understand that every cult of personality person that we knew had some terrible, terrible tragedy that happened to them for no good goddamn reason at all. It just happens. I think for him it would have been the death of his mother. For me it was a man tried to threaten, well, I mean, he did full-blown threaten to kill my ex-girlfriend, the love of my life, at least up to now. And scared the living shit out of her, and she just booked, and I don't blame her. That's what I did, you know, because he meant it. And then eventually he was squared off with a circular saw and the pigs involved, and he got busted, you know, and I put him in jail for 2 years, and it was fucked up. Now, none of that shit needed to happen. Never crossed the guy. Actually, I was his friend. I used to drive him around to work. You know, when he had a DUI, I drove him around to work. I was his friend for fucking 5 years, something like that. There was no reason why he just went crazy, fucking socio, targeted my girlfriend, targeted me, and just made me fucking crazy, put me in the fucking gutter, like locked the door on us so we couldn't use the restroom in the place that we were living at, and all this other crazy ass shit that you'll hear streamer stories exactly like this, right? And we just aggroed Satan for no good goddamn reason at all, and essentially fought him for like 4 years. It was so shitty, and it tore us apart. And we got clean, both of us, and we got out of these problems and these messes, and you know, went on to do better things. But I did go through hell with some cult of personality people there for about 7 years. There was about 60 of us, I'd say. There was about 60 of us. I can remember the names. There was like 60 of us during that era that I all knew very, very, very well, that all had a terrible tragedy in each and every single one of their lives that would be worthy of a YouTube video. Each and every single one of them, from my friend A to my friend M to my friend P to S to C to J. J's dead now. There's a lot of my other friend, younger. He's got a story about stat rape, you know, and I haven't spoken to him, nor have I been his friend for like 10 years, something like that, because he jacked my 360, not because of the stat rape story. He was tricked by a 16-year-old girl who seduced him. And the parents all knew, and nobody wanted to kill him, and he did his time, and he got out. And he was like, yeah, I got to tell you, the first day I met him, he was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I don't condone what you did, but you went and did your jail time? And he was like, yeah, I went and did my jail time. I went from juvie to full-blown, or not juvie, but, you know, at the age of 18, I was in jail for 4 years, and I'm a felon now. I was like, okay, well, I don't normally gravitate to people like that. But he was like, no, this is her. And then I met all of her friends and everything, and I began to understand, no, she seduced him. She didn't want her parents to fucking fuck him over. They did it anyways. She seduced him. I even remember her name too. Fucking, I don't want to say her name, but yeah, I remember. I met her and everything, and I understand now. She seduced him.
Tom Cruise. Who was in
but her parents were out to murder him. They were out to ruin his life, and they did, you know, and that's fucked up. And so yeah, I have a stat rapist friend. Two of the kingpins that I knew were rapists, and I'm sorry, one of them was. The other one we always kind of wondered, and I actually did attempt to bring him to justice. I actually did at the end. I did a couple of friends of mine a favor, and I tried to put him upstream because he ruined a lot of women's lives. You know, and I wanted out of my shit. I wanted out of my shit because my shit was stupid. It wasn't my drugs. My stupid ex-girlfriend M left a quarter of goddamn black tar heroin and like a 3/4 of a gram of methamphetamine in my fucking driver's side fucking rearview mirror. And I let the cops search the car because the drugs were like 7 months old or something. She didn't know she left them in there. I didn't know she left them in there. The cop afterwards, he was like, why did you let me search the car? And this ruined my life. And I was like, because I don't normally drive around with drugs, sir. He's like, yes, you do. And I was like, not that I knew of. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, those aren't my drugs. And he was like, oh, that's why you let me search? And I was like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend. She said, I haven't seen her in 5 months. She left them in my rearview mirror. I remember the day now, but I didn't remember that she left the drugs in there, obviously, or I would have smoked them, and we had a good laugh at that. I remember the joke too. I remember the joke I told the detective afterwards. He was like, it was a detective. Plainclothes rolled me because I was like swerving on the road. It was like 6th and Sims and out there in Arvada. Not 6th and Sims. It was like 6th and Kipling out in Arvada. And I got rolled in Jefferson County, one of the worst goddamn. Jeffco is one of the worst counties in goddamn fucking history. It just is. It's done the most horrible things. And so like, and I got rolled in fucking Jeffco. It was terrible. I mean, Jeffco's new, but they're still horrible. And like, and I got rolled in Jeffco. Never ever get rolled in Jeffco, Colorado. You'll get fucking fucked. It doesn't matter who you are. They fucking spread every single person that they ever meet for the full sentence. I mean, I don't know why they do that. They just do. They don't want the people coming up to their place and doing drugs, and I don't really blame them. They're kind of rich. It's where the Coors factory is. Golden, Colorado, Coors factory. Rich people, they don't want drugs up there, and I don't really blame them. So they chose to fuck me over that, though. My ex-girlfriend's drugs. And so, and every streamer is gonna have a story like that, where some dude tried to kill them, or they had to rob somebody because they were skeevy drug fiend on the streets, or they were, you know, desperate for rent or something like that, or they got evicted, or they got their shit thrown out on the street, or they ended up pounding heroin for 2 years, or they pounded meth for 7 years, or in my case 13, you know. If I pound it, I mean like get it in me all day long, smoke like a fucking chimney for 13, not straight, but it was 13 years of my life total. It was a long 4-year period when I was young, from 21 to 24, about 25, and then another goddamn 7-year bid when I was like 31, and I fucked out, damn near died when I was 37, crashed on a moped. And so I look at these people that I'm supposed to be like enamored of, or like look up to, or respect and idol worship. No, I worship Mark McGrath because he made it despite all the drugs, you know. I worship Billie Eilish because she made it despite all the problems. I worship Lana because she made it despite all the drugs. I worship Jim Morrison. He didn't make it, you know. I worship Yellow Wolf because he made it despite all the drugs. It's a recurring theme on my stream quite a bit. I made it despite all the drugs. And now I'm back to this. Oh, did we DC? No, we didn't DC, but EvE took its break now. It is now 2:40 in the morning on a Monday. Let's finish this video and then go to bed. I think I'm tired.
Being fake for like
I want to watch the one that he was talking about, women shocked they can't find a man. Once in a while, get a little snip or snatter of Twitter, or sorry, of TikTok. But I've never watched TikTok, so it's fun to see it leak through to one of the restreams.
Signed up for a singles event on Valentine's Day.
See, it is TikTok. See, I knew it would be. And I'm like, here's TikTok. I almost never see TikTok, so let's watch Asmongold watch TikTok, right?
It was fun, but there was more girls than there were guys. It was definitely like The Bachelor a little bit. Men don't go to these. Men do not go to singles events.
Going to another singles event, and this is my outfit.
Stop paying money to go to singles events. Men don't go. Stop it.
So I would love to hear from you all as to why you think men don't attend singles events.
Come with us to a Thursday event. No attractive men found.
What?
Again, modern women get disappointed after attending a single event.
The lack of male attendee.
I didn't even know what a singles event was.
I know, I
The
didn't.
closest thing
I
I've
mean,
ever had to a singles.
Isn't that like a blind date, basically? That sounds fucking terrible. Like, nah, you should fall in love with the woman at your workplace, or, you know, maybe you meet her on a video game or something. The bar or the club, or, you know, maybe your cousin's friend or something that comes over all the time. That kind of thing.
Is I used to draft in Magic the Gathering on Friday.
Yeah, like draft, Friday Night Magic.
Friday nights.
Yeah. Yeah, Friday night. So did I. I've drafted Magic very proudly. That's where I met my stat rape friend.
Reason for their disappointment, and some got mad to the point of calling it a waste of time and money.
I signed up for a singles event on Valentine's Day.
I mean, I won't call him a friend. He ripped off my 360. I ended the friendship. Very real. I ended it. I was like, I didn't bring up this stat rape thing. I didn't care about that. I cared that he fucking stole my 360 and all my games for it. That shit was like $550 fucking dollars, and he didn't work for that motherfucking shit. I did. I worked hard as a taxi driver to buy that 360, and then I very pointedly bought every single RPG on the 360 that I actually liked, which was a very specific set of games. It was like 65 games. There's only about 65 of them that I can stand or something. So I bought the 65 RPGs that I liked. We're talking about all of the Elder Scrolls, all of the fucking, you know, all of the Dragon Ages, and all of the, you know, all of the good games on the 360, Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, and I don't know what else is good RPG on that stuff. Star Ocean, Till the End of Time, or whatever it is, or Twine, or I forget which version. At the End of Time, I think it is. And like, there's all these other good RPGs that I can't even think of, like Two Worlds 1, Two Worlds 2. And it was a really painstaking thing to gather all of that shit in one place. And he knew that I moved on to the PlayStation 4, and he asked me to borrow the 360, and I was like, sure, yeah, if you don't do anything with it, and you don't let these games go, because I'll never see the games again, I won't be able to replace them. And sure enough, like a year later, I realized that he hadn't talked to me in a long, long time, and I text him, and I'm like, yo, can I get my 360 back? And he was like, oh, I sold that for baby formula 9 months ago. And I was like, I'm going to end the friendship now. And he was like, we need a baby formula. We were stuck in Kittredge, Nebraska with no food, no money, and we had a baby. And I was like, yeah, I get that you sold the 360, dude, and I actually don't fault you for that. It's that you didn't tell me afterwards for a year. And you lied, and you obfuscated it, and you lied many times about it. You acted like you hadn't sold it. I don't give two shits about you selling the 360 or the games to feed the baby. It's all the lies.
Guys feel doing any.
And this isn't the first person that I've had to, you know, I've had to like break their fucking heart. I broke his heart. He was like, no, you're like the only person that will still talk to me. And I'm like, yeah, I know, dude, but you fucked me over. You fucked over the only person that you knew. I mean, he's got a good brother. I like his brother. But I mean, like, you know, but still, you fucked over everybody you ever knew, including the girl. What's that sound? I'm hearing something bad happening. What is it? Is it me being hurt? No, it's somebody else being hurt. He was... Stank was defeated by something... By a Stone Eater. I don't know. I'm not here. I'm really not here. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't know you were dying even. I didn't hear it. I see nothing. I don't know what's going on. I hear nothing. I see nothing. Oh yeah, I should probably do this dungeon before I go to bed. If I can get to a zone, it'll be over. No, I don't want to flee. I want you to potion. Now, I want you to fire something. Fire! Fire! You're fired! These things pay like pretty good XP. I'm not sure I'm totally supposed to be here, but I like the first dungeon. It's fun. Oh, you killed Bosch again. Stop killing fucking Bosch. Where is Bosch? I don't even see his dead body. What the fuck's going on? You killed Bosch again. You damn it. Stop eating my Phoenix Downs, you scrub NPC. You suck, Bosch. I'm not giving you my potions, but I should have because it was cheaper than Phoenix Downs. I'll just give you potions from now on, fine. Just give him a potion so he'll leave me alone. I don't want to give him any more Phoenix Downs. You guys were supposed to heal him. You're fucking slack. You're slack on that shit. You suck. If they redid this game, they should have fixed the AI perfectly. Die, Skelly. I wish the Final Fantasy XI menu responded with that kind of aplomb. But look how slow it is. It's like, I mean, it kind of does have that speed. It kind of does, you know. I mean, it does. I guess it does. Just never thought about it that way. It's got a server tick that makes it slower, but it's definitely fast. Alright, sit down for some money. We'll listen to the rest of this.
Here's how it went.
Sorry, not this one, but... So we watched some Asmongold, and I'm learning that I don't believe this. I think this is TikTok culture trying to tell you the opposite of what's happening. I think it's actually that there's many, many, many men looking, and only, and not that many available women.
You guys. Yeah. This was a singles tournament at this paddle club here in New York City. You would play with different partners every game. It was fun, but there was more girls than there were guys. It was definitely like The Bachelor a little bit. There was food and drinks and a DJ, so the vibe was good, but I wasn't really vibing with anyone, so please keep pushing me to put myself out there. Thanks, guys.
Oh, this poor girl. And she just wants somebody normal. Nah, the world hasn't been normal for like 30 years, and it fucked us all up, and now we're like the broken home child of a broken home marriage, of a broken home abuse, drug addicted, fucked up, crazy culture of America. And she just wants a normal guy, and I have a lot of sympathy for that. But boy, normal, I don't know if that even exists anymore. In this country, maybe. Most people I know are drunk or high or they're busy working, trying to keep their lives together and doing nothing but that. One of those three things. It's fucked up but true. Oh, you're gonna kill me. Please just give me a potion now. Give me a potion. Yep, fuck you. Pop potions like it's going out of style. Go, go. I'll just buy more. I'm getting so much loot from these things. Stupid flan. Steal! Yes. Steal from the other one too. Kill the flan. Yes, good. Go. Run. Fire. Run. This is such a good RPG. You can like kite in this crappy Xbox 360 or no, PlayStation 2 era game and stuff, like better than most single player RPGs anyways. Boom, one shot you flan. Yes, I brought the black mage. Good for flans. Very good for flans. High potion. I like that I'm seeing high potions now. That's a good sign, because I just used one on Balthier. Press the switch. What did we do? What did we do? What now? Okay, sound from the south. Oh. Oh, damn, you wrecked him. Oops, nope.
I don't have a six-pack. I don't make six figures. And guess what? I don't care.
Okay.
Less than attractive guys would be rejected, and the handsome guys don't want masculine women.
What?
Women don't want the guys who need singles events. The guys women do want don't need this event.
Yep, yeah, well, I think he's right. Women don't want the guys who need single events. That's for the true putzes. And that's the problem.
That's basically it.
That's it. It is actually it.
Yep, there we go.
That is actually it.
It's none of the girls that were going there were particularly that attractive. Like, I would say at least the ones that made the videos, they weren't that attractive.
I think they were.
And so why would a guy want to go there? And, like, here's the thing, is nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to go ahead and say it, but, like, you look at the girls that are there. And... there it is. They're not ugly. Yeah, but what you have to understand is that guys think that if you are 325 pounds, you smell like an old chair. The last time that you saw your penis was in high school, and your favorite thing to do is talk about
I can see my penis.
Weapons from the Middle Ages.
I can put my toe in my mouth.
Still think that you deserve.
People think I'm super fucking fat, and I kind of am, but I'm also 6'4", and I can put my toe in my mouth. If the keyboard wasn't fucking with me, I can put my toe in my mouth. See it? Show me a fat man who can do that.
From the Middle Ages. But you still think that you deserve an 85-pound cat girl.
Nope.
That will cook you dinner.
Nope. Oh,
because
do not kill Fram. Do not kill Fram. Do not kill Fram.
And so why
do not kill
are you
Fram.
gonna go to one of these fucking events?
Yep.
What are you trying to do?
They're looking for good men, and the good men don't exist anymore. We let the country die. We threw everybody in jail for drugs, and we just kind of like made the rent too expensive, and now everybody's foundered on the streets, and the men suck, and that's what happened. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're looking for good men. That's not a factor anymore. That's not happening.
Fucking brutal. Yeah, base. Yeah, I mean there it is. Look at his profile picture. Yeah, he's old. Yeah, I think he's balding, right? I mean, there it is. Yeah, he bald. Like, I mean, there it is, right? I mean, what are we talking about?
He's still entertaining. It's good. You know, I really haven't watched him in like a year. I forgot he even existed, pretty much. You can tell my tastes have changed drastically. It's kind of funny. But it's fun to pop in and return to his channel, you know? I used to really watch this. He has doubled in size since I last looked.
Remember the days that men used to pay for these single events that were free?
No, I don't.
We know.
Well, yeah,
I don't remember a reality like that.
The bars.
They made fun of that on television shows in the 90s, but I don't know if that was very common.
Look how much effort I go into trying to comb over my hair and make it look like I'm not fucking bald. Like, that's the, see? I mean, I'm saying the same fucking thing, man. What y'all trying to start shit for? I bet the girls that go to those events are down for anything. Might be worth a shot. I don't
You're
know,
the one
really.
who's bringing up the baldness.
I've never been to one of those things before. I never had a dating app before.
Shit, I went back too far.
I've never had a dating app. Now, I've messaged girls on Instagram.
I have definitely used dating apps to great success.
You know,
I've been thinking about it lately,
like
but I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I never
It's so
downloaded Tinder or any of that other bullshit, man. Never got into
50,000 steps. I got an achievement for 50,000 steps. Nice.
Then no women would show up. Now they know how we felt years ago.
Yeah.
At least she was lucky this event happened.
Now you know how it feels.
Due to the lack of men's interest. But when it comes to this video, I want to concentrate on this part.
It was fun, but there was more girls than there were guys. It's definitely like The Bachelor a little bit.
Our lack of interest in this type of event.
Okay, like you know, they say nice guys finish last.
Incoming tell.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Hello, Nitromer. Hello. They say nice guys finish last. And won a party. I am playing 4 games at once and go AFK a lot. The pacing of other puts pressure. I don't want to, but thank you.
Incoming towel.
But thank you. Would if we were 12. You too. Sorry to turn you down. It's not you, it's me working. I always say no. Now, okay, so now I should heal. So there we go.
Is just a result of constant unsuccess when it comes to what we want out of these gatherings. And
what was I gonna say? I got my mind blown. Oh yeah, so oh no, I lost what I was gonna say. I forgot. I was talking about something that I totally spaced it. I can't remember.
Incoming towel.
Okay. See all nitro. Oh, you're new. Here. Take invite. Would you like some gil though? Just for weps. Cool if you don't.
Towel. Incoming towel. Got him? Okay. Incoming towel. 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 Incoming Tal. Incoming Tal. Incoming Tal.
What are we looking at here? Okay, so back to cooking. I've done this in a bit. Turn it back on here. I don't want to watch Asmongold anymore. I just don't think he's my streamer anymore.
Kind of led
but he was like, it was good. Baby's first streamer.
We'll play like this kind of music, and she'll be like, I would have invested in a stronger table.
Right through the middle of her audience, and as you can tell, this has affected her channel. This has affected her performance on the internet. Like, let's check out these views. It's like noticeably worse. It's still very good. Don't get me wrong. Like, still very, very, very good. She's doing fine. But if you go back about 2 months, it was a lot better. 4 months, 3 million views, 2.9 million views. What if I told you, though, that the best of the Sniper Wolf criticism was yet to come? I've never really seen a creator that is hated as much without doing really bad cancelable things, like really, like Andrew Tate level stuff. She just hated for being a bitch, really. I mean, like, that's the main thing.
Imagine eating in an Uber and you do this. Well, where did all the food go? Let's not talk about it.
One of the things that I left out of my last video was some more in-depth information that I had dug up on her
Stupid-ass
relationship
labyrinth.
with Sausage. Evan
I went the wrong way.
I need to stress the fact that I am not
Wait,
an
or no, did I?
journalist.
Yeah, I did. I
just enjoy this. This is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy speaking on the internet and seeing people's thoughts on things and relaying some of my own, but generally telling things in an entertaining way. Or at least I try. That's what I try to do. In the meantime, since my last video came out, a fellow by the name of Mad Catster. This is his channel. This guy has the most epic vibe of all time.
Aloha, I'm the Mad Catster. Am I glad to see you here?
He's in front of some Baroque painting with a incredibly beautiful chair. I mean, his shirt and his chair, I can't tell which one is more beautiful. But this guy basically laid down the law in a 30-minute video on Sniper Wolf.
Well, have I got some scalding hot tea for you today?
Oh,
and it's about Sniper Wolf.
And the title of this video is called Sniper Wolf's Ugly Divorce Lawsuit Exposed. We faked it all. Now, a lot of people have been saying that this is true for a while now, that Sniper Wolf faked all of her gameplay, and this is a lot of what I talked about in my video from a week and a half ago.
I doubt she sucks at Call of Duty. I doubt she has the luxury.
Sausage is the real mastermind behind all of this, and has been for a long time. And it seems like Evan Sausage says that is the truth as well. We'll get into it. This is f***ing crazy, by the way.
Okay.
Video doesn't have more views. He was nice enough to email me and give me all the information.
Okay,
and I cannot also stress enough. Go subscribe to Mad Catster. This dude, I'm trying to signal boost his story. His content deserves more views, quite frankly.
Did you guys kill him already? No.
I've got the deets. I've got all.
What do you mean? Just target.
So buckle up and let's go.
And we did a little bit of digging into this for the first video, but in reality, a lot of this
that hurt, you son of a bitch. Die.
We couldn't find everything. Sniper Wolf and her long-term partner Evan Sausage have been through some ups and downs together in their relationship that has been pretty well documented on the internet. They're not super public, but people know.
That's like
it.
my friendship with my best friend.
The two were arrested
we've
back
had
in
some ups and
2013
downs
for an alleged armed robbery. It was apparently a misunderstanding between them and an undercover cop who thought they had been shoplifting, and there was no real. That's her story or their story, whatever. They were also arrested in 2016. Neighbors were called for a domestic dispute, some kind of disorderly conduct fighting. I don't really know. She looks much better. What a glow up. The point of bringing up these arrests that have been beaten to death on YouTube is to kind of underpin their long-standing history of stability and the stable foundation of their relationship. That's the point I'm making here. These people clearly love each other, and now it appears that they are going through a divorce. And by God, this could be the event that caused the Roman Empire to collapse. The Roman Empire being Sniper Wolf's channel, her YouTube channel. The invasion of Germanic tribes is Jack's films, it seems like. They apparently broke up back in June, and now the drama is really getting wild. I mean, look, she even tweeted it. Well, after 9 years, things didn't work out. LOL. This is the tweet where people learned of the breakup, by the way. Awesome. Big fat W. And now, there was nothing ever really announced that they were married. We didn't really know that from the beginning. Nothing was ever really acknowledged publicly. We knew that they were together. I couldn't really find any evidence of a marriage license or anything along those lines. What I assume is it could be like a common law type deal where you stay together long enough and then you become reliant upon one another. We don't have a marriage license, but we do have this information.
Oh, damn it. We have
AKA
shoes for my
Sausage
potions.
is suing Sniper Wolf, aka Aaliyah, I don't know what her name is, for essentially one half of her empire. That is crazy. Whether or not that is a reasonable demand for separation.
That dude did nothing to earn that money.
But it is a massive
Her boyfriend is
shot.
suing her.
Dude, she has
Oh
made
my
so
god.
much money that it is crazy. At least 500 grand a month for
Please do something. Oh god, please, like attack.
Now just take a quarter. Now, on the flip side though, I wonder if Sniper Wolf is gonna get half of Sausage's channel. I mean, check this out. He's getting good views, honestly, good views, but
I'm out.
In Evan's effort to prove that he should receive half of Aaliyah's channel or the Sniper Wolf's channel. I don't know how to say her name, by the way. I've made so many videos that are Aaliyah. Dude, I don't know. In order for him to receive what he's demanding, he needs to provide a valuable reason for the court. And in doing so, he's given out a lot of information that had only been
Wait, she has fire
upon
too.
previously. Here is documentation, proof of the dissolution of
Kill the
their
flag.
covenant marriage without children. Evan filed this back in October of 2022. Here we have proof that they were married in around May of 2013, line 39. Here is proof of their marriage agreement as well as proof of the termination of said agreement. In or about September 2022, Young and Shalesh separated and or otherwise terminated their romantic relationship. Following termination of the romantic relationship, Shalesh began actively taking steps to lock Young out of their business relationship conducted through the YouTube channel. So they started to step back in September of 2022. Boom. Divorce was filed in 2022 as well, a month later. And also a non-covenant marriage. I really don't know exactly what that is, but we have this little bit of information here. This was any marriage in Arizona where the parties did not
How many
voluntarily opt
fucking
into a
Phoenix
covenant.
Downs are we
In
gonna
other
have
words,
here?
it is a marriage where the parties can seek a
God
divorce
damn
for
it,
any
man.
reason. Default provisions do not apply. Almost all marriages in Arizona are non-covenant marriages. So maybe it's like a covenant marriage is like a marriage you get into and you can only get a divorce because it's like a religious thing. Covenant, like the covenant from Halo. Is that what that means? Halo, dude. Seems like it's going to be a very messy thing, and probably is. This was almost an entire year ago, and she immediately tried to lock him